What is going on, guys? How is everybody doing? Tonight we got a very, very special guest in the house, Mr. Rich Boy J himself.
Ooh,
What is up? What is up? How have you been?
it's been good. I built a clone base recently, which was very different, but I'm glad how it came out. I was like trying to figure out how long I keep it around, but I'm really finding it hard to like bring myself to take it apart, which I think says something. So, you know,
Are you pretty like I'm one of those type of people where I get really into wanting to build something and then like halfway into building it, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do something else. Let's just take this apart.
I'm not. I definitely can say I have feels. I can definitely understand it, especially with how long it takes me to build most of the things I build. I think this is like the quickest thing I've gotten done in a very long time, at least on like a decent size scale. So I just maybe haven't spent as much time with it as I would my large scale builds. In which case, I'm like by the end of it, I'm ready to never see it again.
So
The
how big did it turn
castle,
out?
What's up?
How big did it turn out? How big is it?
It's on a. Here, I can show you guys real quick. It's on a 32 by 32 base. This is what it looks like right here. So yeah, it's basically it's a clone base on Scarif. That was the idea.
Wow.
I know that I watched the video of the
How long did you spend on?
Uh, technically 30 days. In actuality, more like 10 days.
you spent 20 days thinking about it in 10 days, like, oh, crap, I gotta get this
I
done.
thought about it a lot. I legitimately like I spent a lot of time sitting down like trying to find a design that I was happy with, and then I decided I was like I was gonna have to start putting pieces together and just go with the flow.
Yeah.
I spent a year building the first version of the castle, and it wasn't done yet. And I brought it back from Brick Fair this year. And as I was coming back home, I was like, "There's a bunch of stuff I wish I could change." And like, I sat all the boxes down in the basement, and I started like slowly setting the castle back up. And like by the third plate or base plate I'd put down, I was like, "This has got to come apart, and I got to redo it." I was like, "I got to redo it better." Like blah blah blah, tore it all apart. And like the minute I tore it apart, you're just that the thinking process starts of, okay, well, I want to do this, and this, but there's so much thinking involved where you don't actually put pieces together.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you gotta plan it out, man. I mean, like in conventional wisdom would tell people like, what measure 10 times, cut once. Definitely that same kind of situation when it comes to Lego.
Mhm.
I'm the exact opposite. I'm the cut first and then be like, oh crap, I didn't measure type guy.
I think if I'm really excited about something, I'll just be like, I just gotta try it. Like I gotta get like this out of my system, and I gotta convince myself whether or not it works. And if it does, then we can kind of go along that path. And if not, I'm like, okay, I can be more reasonable about this.
Yeah.
That's I think it's very weird that no one takes the same approach. Like
Yeah, that's the
so
beauty
many
of Lego.
different
It's so versatile.
there's so many different ways. Like, so I had a city before, and the city was, I built the city to know I have a ping pong table I built on, so I know that I can't build bigger than that. Even if I wanted to, it would be kind of hard. I could buy like different wood and expand it, but when you're doing that, you're getting to a point that, as you know, with like your Starkiller base, it's really hard to travel with something like that. So if you want to go somewhere, you're pushing a lot of limitation. Like, I'm at a point now where every time I go to a convention, people might not realize, but I've got to rent a truck. I've got it's not easy. So now I know the layout of how big I'm going to go, which is a good thing to know.
Right. Absolutely. And also just starting building with that mindset of travel, I think helps you so much more. Like the way you build when you know you got to move it changes everything.
I don't know how you did. I don't know if I've ever even heard you say how you did Starkiller base, but a lot of people have asked me how I go about like the castle. So the crazy thing I done with the castle is I went to Walmart and I picked up a base plate, and it was a 32 by 32. I walked over to the tote section and I seen how a base plate sits in there. And there was a tote that I found that it sat 2 in there perfectly. So I was like, okay, I bought 15 of them. I was like, this would be a good start, if not more than enough. And I started building. And as I was snapping stuff together, I knew that I could connect 2 base plates so it would be stronger than one. and you get less seams. Then when I got home, started building it up and everything else, I was like, okay, I can only build 32 bricks tall before I have to cut it off and make it modular. So knowing that is a huge advantage when it comes to transporting.
That makes a lot of sense. I would love to say I put that much thought into the transportation part, but I don't. That's something I just kind of figure out at the very end. And then I'm like, all right, let's pray it ends up at the convention intact.
Yep.
We got some people in the comments. David, what is up? Exo Brick says, what a lineup. Peter says, sup, good to see you. Just dropped a follow. Come from Jay's YouTube. Looking forward to see your builds, Mr. Beard. And he wants to know, is there any reason that people just don't transport it on a table, like saran wrap it to the table, and I guess take the whole thing?
The biggest reason that doesn't happen as often as you'd think is moving it through a door.
Yep.
That's a pretty big limitation. I'm for sure going to run into that with Camino. Getting it out of this room into the other room was already an issue. So
Camino is solid right now, isn't it? It doesn't split, right?
No, it does not. I built it in such a way where I can like remove all the panels and kind of deconstruct a lot of it to fit if I need to. But as it is right now, yeah, it's not something I could easily like move apart. Just the way the structure is, like I kind of had to build it the way I did just for structural purposes. Like adding in deconstructive parts of that would have definitely compromised how strong it is.
I went to Brick Universe last year, and it was the first time I've ever seen anybody do it, and it was a paid artist. So with that being said, he did explain to me that he knows where he's going and prepares, but his mock is built on a pallet that has a piece of wood laid across it, and it has like a tablecloth draped over it. So he folds the tablecloth over the mock, and they have to pick it up with a pallet. And normally wherever he displays, they make sure they have a forklift, and they set it down on the table with a forklift, and he just unfolds it and he's ready to go.
Awesome. I think if I had an ideal build studio, it would be constructed somewhere with double doors or a garage type system. So I'm not limited by fitting things through doors like that. That's the biggest inhibiting factor.
Oh yeah, I'm carrying mine upstairs and then going outdoors. So if I couldn't do what you did. Like I would have had to put it in a tote. Oddly enough, with the stairs, I've only had one issue, and it was strange. My old house, the UCS Star Destroyer I had built, I took it apart, and when I moved into this house, I built it upstairs. And as I was carrying it down the stairs, do you have the UCS Star Destroyer?
What are the old one?
The new one.
Yeah.
You know how you pop off that center plate and it has like the carrying handle?
Yeah.
The Technic lift arms that were inside of that snapped in half.
Wow.
And it just like hit the floor and just pieces went everywhere.
Yeah, I pretty much built upstairs, so everything I built has to go downstairs. So I know that I had a lot of getting all Star Killer downstairs was not fun.
No. Well, you don't have it displayed, or you never had it displayed together except for shows, right?
I guess in its entirety, no. It's such a big mock. Basically, with the current setup I have, the most I can kind of display all at once is maybe I'd say 8 gray base plates long and maybe 5 gray base plates wide. So I had a section of Star Killer that was that big, which was only between a third and a fourth of the entire build. So you can use that to kind of picture how much of it I was not able to see together. So yeah, I had to start really working on the second half of it downstairs when we were transporting it, just to make sure those sections could come together. Fortunately, enough of it was different types of things where it didn't need to really line up perfectly with the next thing. It was just an interior, and then mountains would be next to it. So the biggest thing for me was just make sure everything was the same height, and then they could sit next to each other. Okay.
I know that's always I've learned a lot from talking to people about not only transportation. Dan that owns Brickmania, was talking to me one day when I had my city, and we were joking, and he was like, "Man, you needed to do this, and you should do this," and he was like, "You try this, and it makes your life like so much easier." And knowing that people just like have this information in their head rent free while I'm down here struggling is pretty it's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Lego's versatile. Everybody does their own thing, and it's definitely funny to see how hard you think about something's gonna be like having to come together, and you get it to come together, and then you take it to a show, and somebody else just completely destroys the whole way you designed it and tells you how to do it much easier.
Why didn't you just do this? And it's like, oh, well,
Yeah.
of course, absolutely.
Well, I didn't think that was possible.
You know what I mean? So this is honestly like
leaving that there is an obvious thing for you to find.
Yeah. Well, the biggest piece of information that I'll throw out there that I didn't realize was when you build modulars, which I don't know if you have, Jay, but most people have built some sort of modular like Lego building. When you build it, it gives you the options on the side to put the 1x1 Technic pins in it to press them together to lock it. Well, when you put them together, you're having to press on those two Lego sets. So you're having to put all of that like force. Well, Dan explained to me, he's like, why don't you use half pegs and half axles? That way it just slides in. And I was like, where was that information at before while I'm down here snapping buildings in half trying to force these two base plates?
Getting two modulars to connect is always annoying. I learned that not really from modular sets, but just like when I did like honestly when I built Crate a while back, it had like a modular setup for the terrain. And yeah, like I mean getting just like on a small scale, getting like the Technic pins to slide in appropriately is a mess. So I went with like a axle hole and an axle because you still get that friction and it slides in much easier.
Yeah.
And that was the solution I had for Crate, and it worked out so much better than trying to connect a bunch of axle pins together.
When he built his D-Day mock, I actually copied what he told me to do. It's a little bit more in piece usage, but you know the little red I'll show you. I have one right here. These little axles.
Yeah, the friction ones. Yep.
Yeah. So he told me to put the axle brick down and put a solid brick behind it, and then put that axle in between it, because that if that axle's in both sides, it can pop out a little and let it I guess flex on tables that aren't even.
Right.
So you still have the ability for everything to be pushed together. It just might be separated a little due to the tables, because as we all know, tables are no fun at conventions. They're like taped together old WWE tables or something. They never lay flat.
Oh, absolutely, dude. You get such a wide range of like table quality.
I had I think it was last year at Brick Universe. The convention center didn't have the 4x6 tables. They had some that were like, I think it was 16 inches by like 6 foot. So I had to use like 10 tables versus just like 3 normal ones. And it was like every table, like,
yeah. That's annoying. Yeah. No, I mean, my setup's not much better at home. I have these plastic Walmart tables I've been using for years. I just make do with it. Like, there's people who are like, man, like I gotta get these like $300 IKEA tables, and I'm like, man, I don't know. There's different priorities. Like I do, like it's totally worth it, but like I could buy like so many parts of that, you know.
But what extent is it worth it? Because for one, you're the only one seeing it, and even if you are doing it for like a YouTube video, like you're still not like showing the table. Like you're not
it's not just that it's a nice table. It's that it, like when you get a table like that, you can usually adjust the height, and you know it's completely flat. Like these plastic tables have a real big problem with warping, and when you build big, that's a problem. And I mean that happens with almost every single build I do. So, like practically, yeah, I can understand. You know, I could subvert some issues with things like warping and kind of like you have two tall things and the bottom starts splitting apart.
See, my table the ping pong table, so I built this table, and like what I initially do is I build on this table and then transport it over there. Well, when I built this table, I thought that it was going to be a cheaper route, but it ended up costing me $113 to build this. And I was like, well, if I need a table as big as a ping pong table to build whatever I'm building on, I was like, it's going to be 3 times that, which is getting around to like what you said with that IKEA table. So I tried to level it off as much as possible, but my problem is the exact opposite. My stuff sits flush when it meets, and then as it goes up, it spreads apart.
Interesting. Okay.
Which is like normally what I do is like I'll put 2. I forget to take it apart sometimes, like especially when I'm trying to move it around. But like like my water, like my 2 plates that meet on the water have like a connecting plate. And then the next level up has a connecting plate. The next level up has like a connecting plate. Like the castle wall has a connecting brick. So it's constantly like pulling it together as it's going up. But you can tell that it's stressed up top to where it's not at the bottom.
Sorry, Lego's reliable. No, I have very few little reservations with stressing breaks.
I don't necessarily worry about it. I know that as you build, your structure is really what matters. It doesn't matter if it's an ounce holding, something up, or if it's 12 pounds holding something up. It really depends on how it's structurally like sound.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And there's a lot of people, like, I wish everybody picks on me because I don't use Duplo, but I mean, Gene owns a Bricklink store. I have multiple friends that own Bricklink stores, and I've bought 2x4s. At one time, I bought, I think it was 1,000 of them for 2 cents a piece. And you're not going to buy Duplo that cheap. You're just not.
No, I mean, unless you just already have a bunch of Duplo, I don't see the reason. Like, even if you're just like going to the pick a brick wall, I feel like you can get more 2x4s than in a cup than you could like with an equivalent amount of Duplo. And like 2x4 bricks have more clutch power than Duplo has. Like I don't use Duplo either. I've never gotten a scenario where I'm like, I need to fill this with Duplo. Like you can get all those benefits with just normal 2x4 system bricks.
Oh yeah, and I do love though when you go to like a convention and you see somebody's like 2 sides of the mock are completed, but like you just go around to the back and it's nothing but like yellow, blue, and green Duplo, just like.
Yeah, I would not trust that for sure. Like I don't know, Duplo doesn't have enough clutch power for me. Like I'm cool on that.
Well, they said it's like, what was the weird number that came? Like, I'm not gonna say it's weird because it like actually took some like science, but like you could stack. How it was like, I know it was way above like the 100 million.
How many like Lego bricks you can stack on top of each other before they crumble? Yeah. I don't know what it is, but it's something absurd. Like you would never get anywhere close to that. So yeah.
Like I always thought that was kind of funny. Like somebody, nobody done that, but somebody definitely did the math to figure out like how much is it going to take to crush a Lego 2x4.
Right.
With everything going on next year, are there a lot of conventions you plan on going to?
Brick World, Brick Rodeo, and Brick Fair are usually my 3. I think that'll be more than enough for me next year. So that's my
plan. Where's Brick Rodeo?
It's here in Texas. It rotates basically between Austin and Houston. So next year it'll be in Austin, and it's usually around 4th of July. I go because it's my local convention.
That's okay. Brick Universe and Brick Convention both come like within an hour from me.
Okay, cool.
But they're definitely like smaller conventions. And I assume you mean like Brick World Chicago and then Brick Fair Virginia?
Yep. I guess, yeah. That's it.
I've never been to Brick World Chicago. I was going to go last year and ended up not going. And then I was making a plan to go next year. And my wife was like, well, how much is it going to cost? Because we already got a Disney trip planned. And she was like, why don't we just go to Disney and use that money, like use even more money? And I was like, you're making a good point. I go to Brick. I make it a point to go to Brick Fair. Brick Fair is the one show that I haven't missed in like 3 years. Like I'm almost positive I've even met you. But like
probably, yeah.
Brick Fair is one of those things. Like I get back home like from after that week, and I don't even know what happened. Like everything was just like a blur.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'd say Brick World's like that on another level. Like I love Brick Fair, but Brick World is insane. Definitely my favorite convention of the year. For different reasons. I think they both have their own pros. I'd say you get more and better quality build at Brick World for sure. Brick Fair feels a little bit more laid back, so it's more of like a fun hangout experience with friends. So I like them both for different reasons, but I think I prefer Brick World definitely.
Drew has never been to a convention before, and next year he's going to pop into Brick Fair. And I'm like,
okay.
I remember my first, like, I sound dumb because it makes me seem like I'm some like old veteran, but I just remember my first year at Brick Fair. Like, you come home and then you start watching videos and pictures that people posted, and you're like, man, I was there for a week and didn't see this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy. That's why like I mean, you have quite a lot of time at conventions, but like especially something like Brick World, like if you want to see everything, like you really got to make an effort. Like okay, like I need to go do my rounds multiple times, otherwise like you're not gonna see everything. Like there's just so much. There's so much.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of the times too that I think he's going to realize now, especially with having a YouTube channel and like being just in social media, which I'm sure you have, is you can start walking around, and by the time you get to like the point where you haven't seen, someone's going to stop you and talk to you. And then they might say something to route you over to another direction, and you're never going to make it around that corner. Like it's just not going to happen.
No, that's I mean it's cool too. Like I don't feel any type of way about it. Like I love that people care enough about me to want to like show me their builds. Like I think that's the coolest thing in the world. So like anyone tries to get me, I'm always like willing to make time to check out a person's build if they are excited for me to see it.
My wife was like I'm one of those people where I don't get starstruck at all, but I also like at the same time, like I'm not the type of person where like if you come up to me and you freak out because you've seen me, I know how to like handle the situation, I guess. But there was like it happened at Brick Fair last year. I was talking to some older man that was talking to me about the castle, and like this kid ran up and he was like, "Oh my God, can you please do me a favor?" And I was like, "What's that?" And he like handed me a Sharpie and gave me his arm. And he was like, "Can you please sign my arm?" And I was like, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I really want you to like tell me that your mom is gonna let this be okay. And he flipped up his other arm and he's like, well, Ryan's already signed my other one. And I was like, well, I'm in it then. And my wife was like, did you just sign some kid's arm? I was like, yep. I was like, that happened.
100% yes.
I told her like I'm sure y'all have all seen Talladega Nights, where he's like running through like signing everything, and he signs the baby's head. And you know, don't get in my way during signing mode. And I think Drew's got a big like. I think he's gonna enjoy it more than he thinks he is.
What do you mean?
Like, you see all the videos online of conventions.
Oh,
you
yeah.
see all the fun, but like when you go, I don't know, like no matter what, it's kind of like what I was saying earlier about designs. Like no matter what you think, somebody there has got something better.
Yeah.
And it's always the stuff that surprises you that sticks out. Like last year, I'm sure Jay seen it. You seen the Super Mario World, like Bowser's Castle, right? The big one that was
at Brick Fair?
Yeah.
It was last year or this year?
Or this year, sorry.
Oh, okay.
The one that had like it was Mario going through the castle as like a level, and it had all the spinning like fire ropes. It had Bowser sitting at the top of it. The like lava moved and lit up.
It sounds vaguely familiar. I'm gonna be like, I'm not the one to sit down and really analyze a Mario mock. That's just sorry.
Well, it was pure size. Like if you were to walk through the door after you pass that like concession stand area, and you went around the curtain and just followed that all the way to the right. It was like the first one besides like the big Looney Tunes builds.
Very familiar. Clearly, I wouldn't do any conventions this year. Like too many builds on my mind.
Like it was just one of those things that I seen it, and I mean, as you could tell, like I like Mario. I'm not like going out of my way to build something that crazy, but it was something that I could see it coming. Anytime there's a theme coming out, the themes definitely open new levels of fandom.
For sure.
Like,
Absolutely.
I'm waiting this year. I'm wondering what we're gonna see for the Dreams line. I wonder if anybody do anything.
Yeah, I guess this will be the first year, that's actually given people time to do something really fun and creative with that. I didn't think about that, but yeah, that's a good point.
And then even with like the Lego Fortnite, like what we joked about, I don't know how you could really like prove that it's Fortnite, I guess. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, I guess you could build a battle royale like scene, but I think
I've seen some Fortnite builds. I've seen the people do the bus a few times, and I mean, like Fortnite is so comprehensive now. Like, there's so many existing IPs that Lego has that have like figures that would make sense in Fortnite. So, I think that definitely, like, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of that.
I think by this time next year, Fortnite will be like the biggest game because they're branching off into so many different areas. Like the Lego Fortnite is basically trying to kill Minecraft. They've got like the Battle Royale, which is like trying to be its own thing, but now they're making like a first person shooter to where they're trying to like take down Call of Duty's like whole setup. I think like they're
crazy. I mean, Fortnite's already massive, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon.
Yeah,
and I know absolutely nothing about it. I've never played it. I used to play Call of Duty a lot, so I like understand the dynamics, but I've never played.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, but I like taking down Call of Duty or taking down Minecraft. That's gonna be, I think those are bigger than Fortnite, and it'd be a big feat for Minecraft or Call of Duty.
Bigger than Fortnite?
I don't know about that because
maybe not.
Minecraft's like Minecraft will be the biggest game. Like nothing's ever gonna take that.
Okay,
I think maybe like Roblox has a shot. Like I think Roblox is a lot more popular than you think. But I don't know. I think Minecraft might have Call of Duty beat.
I think so. Yeah. I think Fortnite probably does have Call of Duty beat too, especially in the younger audience and
that's what I was gonna say.
Audience.
Only older people are really gonna like play. Like I know younger people play Call of Duty, but like when it comes to like actually like taking it serious, I feel like that's gonna be the older population.
Yeah. Well, and there's only so much of a storyline left in Call of Duty that you can even do.
Nobody even
Fortnite is so open right now because Fortnite just brand deals with everybody, like John Wick and Star Wars, and then
Eminem.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Beast. There's brand deal with everyone, and it stays relevant. It's a smart business move. And the game only costs $15 or something like that?
No, the game is free.
Oh, get the I remember when I played for like a little bit, the pass, like to get the special stuff was $15.
Yeah. Like the game is free, but there's a paywall behind like skins and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
like for like the gold pass or something like that.
Changed since I was a kid.
we were joking. How old are you, Jay?
I'm 28. So
you're around the same age I am. I'm 33. And we were joking. My little nephew came over here the other day. This is actually at Thanksgiving, and we played. He's only 5, and he's never played a game before, but he loves Super Mario. Super Mario is like what the kids are into. So I plugged up the Super Nintendo and was like, I want to show you something. So we started to play it, and it amazes me how like I can take a game like Call of Duty, and I can play that game flawlessly. But you give me something that's simple to where you just move left and right and jump, and like you die every time.
It honestly shocks me how popular Super Mario is with kids. Like I remember like when Lego started making it, I'm like, are kids gonna care about this? Like kids still play Mario? And I was like, wow, like kids are still like, I have no idea how, but like, yeah, Mario's super. Because like when I was a kid, Mario was old. Like I would like I feel like maybe it's had a bit of a resurgence, I guess.
Well, they keep making games, and there's like that iconic game for every. I'm gonna say like every 5 years, there's like an iconic game that comes out for a certain group age level.
Mm-hmm.
And now they just released that other one, which is like I think it's called Wonder. And that one is like, so where, you know, the older people that are a little bit older than me and you grew up with like, or even we can go even back further than that, like 2 generations or whatever of game players. Before us, they would play like the Mario where Donkey Kong was throwing the barrels, and then like the next one was like where he was defeating Bowser on like the normal Nintendo, and then when me and you came in the picture, it was like Super Mario Brothers like 3, like when you got the tail, could fly, move all around, and then it's like I think there was like one in between it, and then there was like then Odyssey, and now you've got this new one. So they're the same thing. They're staying really relevant.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as Lego Mario goes, I think that is like it's a cool concept, but the execution for the kids, I believe, is poor.
Oh man, I could even like. Could you imagine if like when Lego Star Wars first came out, and you know what, 3-4 years into the game, no minifigures still, like that, like I would go crazy, like
Yeah.
and it's so funny. I'm pretty sure I read like Nintendo was like, oh yeah, we want to do some sets, and Lego was kind of the one who pushed them, like, oh, let's do like something a little bit more interesting. And I'm just like, I mean, sure, that's fine. What if you want to make the game thing, sure, like cool, whatever. But like, why neglect something so obvious for so long?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, I don't even think it's. Like, I think it's more important than that. Like, Lego's minifigure is Lego.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Like, it's like, I mean, every time they've stepped away from a minifigure with like the weird Barbie dolls, the Jack Stone, every time they've done something, even like, I hate to say this, but for all the lovers out there, I don't know where Mayo is, but mini dolls, like, they just don't get the popularity that a minifigure is going to have.
No.
You are never going to see somebody pay $3,000 for a mini doll. You're not. I don't care how rare that mini doll is. I don't even care if you make a mini doll of Boba Fett. It's not going to be worth that money.
It is really funny to think about. Like, I mean, I'm obviously big fan of Lego. I don't need to say that, but like I understand mini dolls, and like I have a respect for maybe what they've done to bring people into Lego who maybe wouldn't have been into it otherwise. But like the way I look at a mini doll and the way I look at a minifigure is so different. Like when I look at a minifigure, it's like damn, like that's a minifigure. Like especially the really cool ones. But like mini doll, like it in some cases it may as well not even be Lego. Like just the way I perceive it, it's like value. It's kind of crazy.
The coolest mini doll will never be as cool as the crappiest minifigure.
True.
I don't know about that. There's some pretty cringe minifigures out there, but I get the point.
So then, what's the worst minifig? What's the worst Star Wars minifig for you?
Ooh.
The worst Star Wars minifigure, I would probably say the original Aldar Beto minifigure. I don't know if I can drop a link in the chat maybe.
I was gonna say, hold on, I can pull it up.
Here, I'll make sure this like works. Nope.
You should be able to share screen.
Open it. I just want to quickly find an image that he can throw somewhere. Pop a image. All right, here we go. Let's see. It's in the chat.
Let me stop this one and present this one.
As much as it is cringe, it's also terrifying.
Well, it's like a droid body with a 1x2 slope ahead, and then like an old school pilot skull cap.
Yep.
I'm gonna send a picture of what it's supposed to be. I think that's the kicker. Like when you see what like alien it's supposed to represent, it's like, how did we get here?
So I will say this. I know I want to go around and like hear everybody's like worst minifigure now.
If you want to pull up that second picture real quick, that's the
you all right?
That's what it's supposed to be representing.
Oh man. Like, where does the breathing apparatus even come from?
It's pretty bad.
The crazy thing is like this right here as a minifig could have just been something that Ninjago did.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to offend some people too, but I also think like you can. I don't think any of the minifigures with the Clone Wars faces are as good as like.
So that's what I was about to say. I know you're not a huge Clone Wars guy. I'm eating my own words in a sense that I gave everybody crap the first year that I had like a YouTube channel and was really in like the Lego community. I was like, I don't know why like everybody is freaking out about Clone Wars. Like, I just don't understand how everybody is so like just like influenced by everything. Like, if Clone Wars would have came out and they would have done like, everybody hates Kylo Ren, but if Kylo Ren would have been in Clone Wars, everybody would have been like, he's the most amazing Jedi or Sith, whatever you want to call him, ever done.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now I'm built after the castle. I've already started designing it. I'm building a Clone Wars mock, and really I will say like the funny thing is like that I'm eating my own words, but the honesty about it is they came out with these battle packs, so now the minifigures are just really accessible. It's kind of like when you were doing Star Killer Base, all those troopers then were really accessible. They were putting them in every set. So it was really, really easy to get them even on Bricklink and stuff like that. Whereas if I wanted to do like old school stormtroopers, it's not that easy. I mean, even first order troopers now went up to about what, $10 a fig?
Whew.
Oh God, wow. I need to offload some of those if that's the case.
I think that there's a lot of them that are like $10 a fig.
Jeez.
Oh yeah, minifigures in general are just getting out of hand. I mean, the show, whatever. I think the those original minifigures with the stylized faces, like that was. I always tell people like that sent me into my dark ages. Like as a kid, getting those, I was like, this is. I can't even put my finger on like what was so off-putting about it, but I was like, this does not feel right to me.
Yeah,
and then my interest just nosedived after that.
The Clone Wars Yoda, the Count Dooku, the Anakin Skywalker face.
Oh yeah, the clone faces themselves, the Padme, the
Chancellor Padme.
The Ahsoka was the worst one for me.
Oh yeah, Ahsoka's bad too, especially because she's in like a tube top and she's like 13 years old. Like, bro, like oh my
god. Exo Brix said that minifigure is gold. Peter says that it's still better than the new Fox, and Coconut says it looks like they nailed it. Peter said that I can honestly say I think they nailed it. It's the same picture. It was the gray one on the next edition of Aldar Beto. And he said, I think why I like Clone Wars is it developed Anakin a ton more so we could fall in love with his character, and it makes his downfall so much better. And I definitely agree with that. So this is the way that I portrayed it, because I guess with you and Drew and Gene, we all seen the original trilogy. Like there was no Anakin, it was Darth Vader. Like it was just the evil already there. So watching Clone Wars, especially after we got the first, second, and third episode, was seeing him truly turn in to that like evil person, which was, I think, the reason the whole show even like made it popular.
I can see that.
Gene, do you have your pictures ready?
What did we do this week?
Yeah. So one of the things that Gene started doing was he took random pictures of his Bricklink orders that he was getting, because him and his wife always like to kind of like, why, they're ordering these pieces, what are they building type thing. Okay. So he's been taking the pictures of people's orders for us to kind of guess what they were building or what they're using the parts for, that type of stuff.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
And then I guess me and Drew can start showing our the mocks we have picked.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was all right. That was what I was gonna say though. My least favorite minifig Star Wars wise are any of those like clone heads. Like
They're bad.
is that yours too, Drew? Is your like least
Yeah.
favorite?
Yeah.
And the sad thing is like they at the time they were bad. And now that we've advanced like we've advanced in Lego Star Wars minifigs, it's even like gotten worse.
Yes.
Like,
You know what I really don't like is a lot of the new clone troopers. I don't like the realistic helmets or whatever. They just don't look realistic. They look super animated to me. I prefer the old ones so much more.
When
Yeah,
you
but
think
that-
of them now, the style that they are going for is a hybrid between the animated style and the
Yeah.
realistic style. I think this needed like I don't see any reason at this point for there to be anything that's animated style. I think
Yeah.
everything would be consistently realistic.
Exactly. Everything they look like just like a big bubble to me. And it's just
especially
it's, eh.
after the tie-ins that we've seen with Ahsoka to go show like more of live action Clone Wars, even though that technically is still like animated because it's CGI and all that, I feel like exactly like what you said, the realistic side is what we want now and what we expect. Like nobody cares about the animated show anymore.
I mean, well, you talk to some people, and I don't know, they might feel a little bit differently about
Yeah.
that.
I was gonna say
yeah,
I wouldn't say that out loud very often.
I definitely agree, but at the
I
same
think
time,
just for consistency.
you're not
Consistent.
seeing people out there build mocks with all the Clone Wars heads. I mean,
Oh,
you're
you
seeing-
are. Oh no, people are doing it. Trust me.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Bro.
You're just
Hold
not
on
looking
one
in the
second.
right
My camera got out of play.
You're not looking in the right places then, Rich.
Or maybe I am looking at the right places.
I don't know, man.
Maybe y'all
You're on the
are-
wrong side of TikTok, man. Oh,
Hey, do you want to see some pictures?
Yeah,
sure, let's go.
we
for
can.
it.
Oh, hold on, he's back. Do you can present them, right?
Sorry about that.
So this one should be pretty easy, I think.
There we
little
go.
one.
Oh,
That's an
Pose
X-wing.
Starfighter or something.
Pose X-wing.
That's exactly what
Yeah,
I'm
that's
thinking.
an
I'm thinking
X-wing.
it's some Star Wars ship.
Definitely Pose X-wing.
So that one was pretty easy.
Oh,
What the heck is that?
a
This
tractor
is not
tractor.
Star Wars. Definitely, like, yeah.
or it could be a what's it called? A brickheads kind of thing because they have the pink circle like they use for the brain sometimes.
Yeah.
It has the
Yeah.
brickhead's eyes as well. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it's like what's the most yellow brickhead?
They
Like
didn't do a
ball
trap
maybe?
one, right?
There's a bird that's yellow. There's a cat that's yellow. There's a parrot that's yellow. My wife has most of the brickheads up
Oh,
there.
you know what? It's probably the cat because it has a pink circled plate. I use that for
It's
the
a
nose.
tiger. It's a tiger. That's the butthole.
The cat's more like orange. Like I don't think the cat
Oh,
is yellow.
okay.
No, I know. I'm just kidding.
I still am saying
So
with
I
all
don't know.
those, if in that second, the second bucket to the bottom, yeah, that one that you got your mouse on. I'm saying with all those pieces, that's like some type of crane or like that's some kind of power equipment.
Well, when I saw it, I saw the ball joint connectors, like right here and right here. But that's all the female ball joints. It doesn't have the male pieces anywhere in the order.
Yeah.
The only male female ball joints,
Maybe
the
he had
larger Bionicle style.
And it
So
has the
anyway,
brick eyes.
That was
so-
kind of fun. Yeah.
Oh, that's definitely for a cop. Cops and robbers somehow.
Oh yeah,
Yep,
a very
you got
unique
jewels,
order.
You got money.
that's
So
a
the
lot
funny
of
thing about
Lego
this,
money.
That's a lot of
That's 100.
handcuffs.
That is a lot.
30 handcuffs and 100 bills. So the funny thing about this one, Tori's been writing little notes on the packing slips, and she called me about this one. She put the minifigure, the cop, in with the money, and she wrote on the packing slip, "The cop is guarding the money."
Nice.
So
That one,
so that one was
I would have
pretty
liked those crates though.
That's look like a mix hole.
I think we still have some more crates, Richard.
That right there is either a Mixel or the bat from Mario.
Huh.
Mario bat.
From Mario. I didn't think about that.
Lego.
I don't think the Mario bat used those eyes though. I'm pretty sure they had like a printed tile.
Oh, it could be the
Ooh.
Fortnite llama, as Trevor says.
Yeah.
I don't have the bat. Or at least it's
Yeah, that
Tommy.
that would be very topical.
To me, that's just blah. Looks like part of a fire station for city.
Fire station, or
There's a lot of the grill brick, a lot of red brick.
oh yeah, and with the winch, not cable, but spool. Yeah,
Oh yeah, the
Fire
spools.
truck?
probably a
Something like
fire
that?
truck build. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's-
fire truck. Those could be the grill of the truck.
Yeah. Or sometimes they use those slotted pieces for like they act like the doors on the side that slide up and down. Oh, that's for definitely a sports car.
So what's
That's somebody
something?
trying to do the Bugatti on their own.
Yeah.
You got the-
yeah.
you got the
Well,
steering wheel, the hubcaps, wheel arches. So I think somebody's trying to do the Bugatti on their own. So it's the same colors.
Yeah. Yeah, it's too light a blue to be something. Oh, that's for a Volkswagen bus. 100%.
yeah.
Because I've built that
That's-
and
that's what I'm
I
thinking
recognize that's definitely for a mini scale.
that or a Mini
And
Cooper.
then,
Yeah. Oh.
and that's the last one that she did this week. And it's,
And, I mean, it's definitely a vehicle.
these pieces,
I feel like
pieces are saying vehicle to me.
Yeah.
These are kind of headlights on vehicle. You
I'm
know,
gonna say
they
that's
could
just
be
somebody
using
buying.
slopes.
That's
Yeah,
somebody
it's definitely a
buying
vehicle.
multiple pieces for something. Like
Yeah.
that's probably multiple builds because those are an odd color combination too.
Yeah. Well, it could be
And
filler
it's weird
brick.
to see the reddish brown and orange mixed in with those other colors. Is weird.
Yeah.
Well, the yellow too. The like yellow and orange little hints are kind of strange.
And those are tiles.
Trevor 04 said it's Pikachu Fortnite llama. Jason said it's a flight deck tow tractor. Hey, Jason might be the one who ordered that. You never know.
True.
And if he ordered it, it's more than likely something to do with a flight deck.
So those are the few we had for this week to play around with.
That's I don't know. I think I would always like if I was a Bricklink store owner, every time somebody bought something out for me, I'd be like, "What are you using these pieces for?" Like that's the mocker in me. I'm like, "What are you using this for?"
Right.
Let me in on your secrets. What are you doing?
I will say, whenever I was this was like when I designed my Razor Crest build, I had to build like a second one because a friend wanted me to just build it for him, and I placed, did easy buy and had a bunch of orders get placed for me, and I had this one seller reach out and he was like, "Okay, I've had so many people recently like make this exact same order. Like, what are you guys building?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, like I have this Razor Crest. That's all the instructions for. So maybe people are building it from that. And you just happen to have the perfect combination of pieces." So I thought that was kind of funny.
Gene had that happen wherever when the Optimus Prime came out, and they had that. Well, remember when the Optimus Prime came out, you had that whole like where everyone was redoing the head, like the modded head.
Mm.
And there was another thing where like the sticker to be placed on it was weird because when you deconstructed it back to like the truck, it like split the sticker or something like that. So somebody had found a way to like mock it. But that's
Yeah, I was going to say a couple months ago we had that happen where over a period of 3 or 4 days, we got like 5 orders that were almost identical.
Yeah.
And we about the third time we were like, what the heck are they building? There's got to be something just released.
Yeah.
It's always fun.
I bet that Fortnite llama has been on the top of a lot of Bricklink stores.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yo, what's up, Stud Sidious?
What's going on, stud?
Oh, Jeff also brings up a good point. It could be a Subaru.
Nah, the Subaru would already been in pieces.
Hmm.
You wouldn't build it. You just leave it alone.
Hey.
I work at Subaru, so I'm allowed to say things like that.
Oh, okay. All right. You earned that.
And you pay Richard for more expensive, better performing parts that stay in the box.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, the way you make a Subaru perform better is replace all the factory parts with aftermarket components.
True that.
You wanna Drew, you wanna pull up your mocks?
Yeah, it's up on the queue. I just have to.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you can't do it.
No, I'm incapable.
He doesn't have a proper clearance.
So I guess
No, I'm glad I like this. I'm glad you
right.
did that.
This came across my Instagram page, and even though it's what probably you'd say only 38 by 38, I think it's still pretty amazing. Like they captured everything not only from the movie, but from the game of Lego Star Wars, like with the.
I didn't even notice that. You have the catacomb on the side.
Yeah, the catacomb with the money studs, and then the
mini kit?
Yeah, the mini kit. This is actually created by I think the guy's name is called the Mini Kit Guy, and so let me double check I got to cite my sources before I just say things. Yeah, the Mini Kit Guy. He decided to do a UCS Geonosian arena with beasts. So going back to next slide, he did each beast. I did like because those Geonosian, the original, are so expensive. He just bought all the zombies, which are significantly cheaper than all the others. Because I was going to do a Geonosian build, and the brown tannish ones are pretty expensive, especially with wings. The zombies are a lot cheaper.
Those wings are pretty expensive by themselves.
Yeah, they are. But we have the
YouTuber who's definitely contributed to that.
right. But yeah, he I forget what this animal's called, but I forget all their names, honestly.
I actually genuinely do not. I know all the other beasts except for that one.
Yeah. He did pretty good.
Trevor in the chat knows. Trevor will
Oh yeah, Trevor will pull through. Come on, Trevor. This one, I forget what this one's name is. Do you remember, Jay?
Yeah, that's the I want to say the Nexu.
That's right. The Nexu. Pretty good. I like what?
Total Christensen said this guy makes really cool stuff. His MTT is
awesome. Yeah, it is massive. It's pretty good. I like that he used like the what's it called? One of the gear plates as all the teeth for all the
animals,
which is kind of unique. Cool. And he really likes using the minifigure hands wherever he can, which is kind of funny.
Now that you've pointed that out, the teeth look really like they really stick out to me now.
I know, right?
They got like some what are they called?
Oh god, bevel gear.
Oh yeah, bevel gear.
What are like the big fake teeth called that people get?
Oh, dentures.
They all got some many.
I do like this new piece, especially on this one. I like to call it the anteater. Yeah, the accolade. The joints. I love that new piece that Lego molded because like it works great for something like this or for like thrones you can put around, and like the gold ones you can. That's what they did in the Viking village. I thought it was a good touch. But yeah, this is the Rancor, right?
No, that's the Reek.
Reek, that's right. I love the new rock piece that looks more like feet that they used in the Porgs. You can get a whole bunch of those in that set. But the Reek is definitely my favorite. I love the dark bluish gray with the dark red.
Those look really good, but I really I wish that every animal or fig was like a actual like molded
I know, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Like what they did for the Utapau battle between Obi-Wan and Grievous with that animal. I forget what his name is. But yeah, although I do like brick built because I feel like it would be cheaper than
Oh
getting
yeah,
a
it's
whole
definitely
animal
cheaper.
than like a dewback or whatever. Although every time I see the Nexus face, it always just looks like a plain piece of pizza to me.
You know what that could have been? You know what
Huh?
that could have been like perfect?
What?
The purple monster off of Monsters Inc., like the actual like bad guy.
Oh, Randall?
Yeah, if they would have made that purple, that's Randall.
I know, right? But let's see here. The next one was like, I don't know. I also very much like Skyrim, and so this just I've always wanted to get into free form build, but I've never taken the time to learn nor research how to do better free form. And just the way this was put together totally reminded me just like of playing Skyrim and finding just random goats. That's also a flex that he has money. And like the little like ladder that's put together with like joints. If we go to the next one, like you can kind of see at the bottom, like the joints there.
Oh, he's
and then,
rubber
like,
banded it together.
yeah. And then the trees are very interesting, which you'll see in the next picture. But I just like you find the random helmets and swords and random people with letters that want to talk to you that end up trying to stab you in the game.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty cool. Like, but like you get like the way this tree was built is very impressive. Like with the horn piece, the roots sticking out, then like the vines wrapping, the whip actually wrapping around looks very clean. And it's all with like a tube or like what is it? Those tail pieces that they call them.
The minifigure.
That's
The
a
big,
claw at the bottom.
Yeah. It
That's
just
reddish
looks
brown claw at
really,
the
really
bottom.
good. And the simplicity of the flag banners look like they've been worn over time, but like it's just a root piece with that like Jedi lightsaber that has like the hilt at the bottom that can connect to different things attached to like what looks like a wand, and then a a wand or a knife kind of piece that's
Those
just off
wands-
another stick.
those wands are really useful. I've used a bunch as
Yeah.
like dead plants in the castle area, and it's
Yeah.
they're like cheap as crap because they put like 10 of them in every.
True. But yeah, dude, just the way he freeformed this and like used everything to perfect detail, it's just it fills every crack and it looks natural. It's my this is from let me cite my source. Jack Bricks. It's called The Echoes of the Past is the build name. Then this is just single pictures from Diego's Bricks. It's called House and Mill by the River. If you look to the right, he used hairbrushes as like it's just brilliant. I would have never thought to use a hairbrush piece as that. And then there's something else that I thought stuck out to me. I like his roof design; it looks very sleek and.
There's another one of those snake pieces used as smoke.
Mm-hmm. One of the cobra pieces, yeah. And like the starfish from like Friends as flowers that go up the vine look very good.
Well, those are the flower pieces.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't even notice before, but the old tank treads from the Geonosian Hailfire droids, the brown ones, is the door peephole kind of window.
Oh, I see that, yeah.
And so that's pretty unique.
The one thing that stands out to me on this picture, which is like really weird, is the like the 1/4-inch pegs or whatever they are used as like the top of the plants down at the bottom left.
Oh yeah, to make like a cat's tail or wheat growing. Yeah. That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, Gene, you'll probably know what this, but if you look at where the minifigure is on the far right, then move your eyes left along the rock work. What type of tile piece is that triangular piece that's green?
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
that too.
I bet that's like part of like a I think they call them Technic car panels.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah.
Oh,
But
That's
a
pretty
green
cool.
one would be.
Yeah, but I've never seen it in green.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I've never seen it in green. And if you look right above to the right of that where the flower is, it looks like there's another one.
Yeah. That's
Next
interesting.
where they're using the brushes like cactus.
Yeah.
I like that brush as this cactus idea. That's pretty neat.
Yeah. Pretty smart. And then I'm a sucker for Stud City. Yes, I did build the tree. It was very easy to rebuild back that tree.
Hey, look at this.
Yeah. Hey, you guys should all go check out the newest video that I did on it. And it's finished, and it's the first build into the Minecraft custom world. So definitely go check that out.
What's going on, Rob Claxton? How's it going?
I am a sucker for Vikings
Bobby Turner.
and Viking
Richard,
lore.
You're right. That is a Technic panel. The Technic panel curve 2395 came in green.
Dang.
I've never
Was
seen
it
it
in the
green.
Land Rover or what? Or in the one of the tractor builds?
John Deere.
John Deere.
John
Yeah,
Deere.
brother.
No,
Yeah, brother.
it was in the Monster Jam Dragon.
Oh.
Yo! That's didn't expect that to be the name drop tonight.
It's the first time that those Monster Jam trucks have ever been relevant.
Oh, chill. Chill. Don't do that.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Don't do that, brother.
Are you a monster truck guy?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm probably the biggest monster truck fan, you know. I have no doubt. I'd be willing to say I am the biggest Monster Jam and Lego fan. I could not imagine there's a person on this planet who loves Lego and Monster Jam more than I do.
But yeah, for the final build that I have here, just one single picture.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I gotta
no,
do a
you're
little
good.
plug. I'm drinking out of my Monster Jam cocktail.
Big flex. Big
That's
flex.
awesome.
But the final build I have here, just one picture. I'm a sucker for some good Vikings, and you don't get to see the full build. I bet there's some other great techniques, but the way he did the dragon, I really like, because you can definitely tell that the plates, or not plates, but the wedge plates, I guess is the technical term. Even though they're reversed, it still looks natural. It doesn't look too different. Like, 'cause sometimes like you'll put plates back to back and it looks kind of crappy, but I didn't even notice that they were backwards until I just brought it up now. And it looks super smooth. I think the dragon looks, even though the dragon does look a little bit more like a dinosaur, it looks like if a dinosaur and the Zillow beast from the Clone Wars had like a child.
Isn't that just the old like horntail from Harry Potter? Like with the eyes and the teeth?
It could be.
So like when I look at this, once again, this is going to be like just me, but the first thing that draws my eyes is the beard that's on the Viking that's standing there.
I know, right? And his grand staff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really want to know what that thing in the very back is. Is that supposed to be like the dragon's tail or something? I don't know. There wasn't any more pictures. That's kind of bummed.
It does look like it curves up around.
Yeah. But it looks like they're hauling by the way they did the water technique. It's a unique technique that it looks like they did like what's it called? Like how they do roofing where they just put tiles on top of each other going down.
Yeah.
But they did it with water, and I think it looks pretty good. It looks very fast paced.
There's a lot of different pieces used for that water right there.
Yeah, and I like I'm not a fan of the color break because I don't know, working on the river and growing up in the ocean, like there wouldn't be that much of a light blue to dark blue change, but it still looks good.
I think that the thing that I would have changed there was blended it better. I would have ran some of the lighter blue in with the darker blue and not had it as a barrier.
Exactly. Exactly. But this one was built by the Bricklings, the Dragon of the North, the build is called. So there you go. Thank you for coming to my PowerPoint, and I hope you learned something.
Mine's a little different. Like I said, I knew Jay was coming, so I did reach out a little bit. Now the first isn't Star Wars. It is by I found them on Instagram. It is Dera DERA_0503. But dude, that's killer.
I don't see anything
That
yet.
is
Oh,
awesome.
oh, the Godzilla.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Like-
seamless.
Yeah. And like the way they did things is just like, I mean, it's got
Wow.
different attachments.
Yeah.
The feet look absolutely amazing. And you don't really, it doesn't look that big until you realize that the little circle right here is a 2x2.
Yeah. That thing's
Oh
massive.
yeah.
That thing's huge.
Oh, gosh.
And I've only built one thing that was to the size of this, and that was the Sentinel from X-Men. And it
Yeah.
was so unstable because of its weight. I'm really wondering how they did this.
Yeah.
Because it's big.
Sheesh. I always kind of wondered if the jetpack rocket launcher, whatever thing, was like a counterweight to keep them standing. But looks
Well,
like you can stand just fine without it.
Yeah, like, well, when you look at this photo with his chest open, I keep telling everybody, like, it really kind of gives me like some Megazord feels.
Yeah.
Like, I really want someone to build a Megazord. But like,
It's like reminds me more of Pacific Rim than
yeah,
Godzilla.
but like, just like you know, he looks so beefy right here with the backpack and everything.
Yeah.
Right here, it's just like straight karate mode.
Right?
But I have the picture of how he done the tail.
Jeez.
Cool.
And like I said, it really, like, I mean, those are 1x1 slopes and they just look like they're so small.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely a killer build though.
For real.
Next up,
Oh yeah, I
Yo.
saw this.
this to me, color wise, is probably one of the coolest things I've seen done in a very long time.
The only thing I have against it, and this might be my Lego purism coming through, is they put like a glass cover over the top of it, or like some type of, because like did you see the reference photo to it?
Yeah.
I understand why they did it, but I feel like, I don't know.
Well, nothing that's on top of the glass is connected. It's all sitting on there.
Yeah.
But like the Demigorgon head used as, and that was one of those things too. Like that Demigorgon head isn't cheap, so I'm glad he only has one of them.
Yeah.
But like, I thought it was really cool. I like the little like rock formation.
Yeah. His
The-
rocks look really nice.
But yeah,
I want to
did-
know why he just chose to not tile the bottom either.
I don't know.
Everything looks so good, not tile. I mean, not plated.
The thing is too is he wouldn't have had to put a glass top on this.
Yeah.
Like if he would have just clear tiled this whole thing, as
Yeah.
long as he would have went in the same direction and then used the clear plates as an attachment point, I think it would have still looked flawless. It just would have had that more like, because that's way too glossy. We all know that he like, unless he put some lacquer on top of that.
Yeah.
But I mean it
I
looks
mean,
good.
it looks great. It definitely
really cool.
resembles what is it? Concept image.
The episode.
Yeah.
What is it supposed to be from?
It says, if you look right here, and I tried talking to the guy, but the guy didn't, I don't think he speaks English. It says episode 3, part 2. But
I
these
think
are,
that's just part of like the RPG that they're doing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because those are, I know that
Those are scout troopers.
those are scout troopers, so it's got to be after, like, that's Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's probably from a comic or book series.
I guess.
'Cause-
Or if it's, I don't know. You said he had reference from something. Was it like animated or was it?
The reference was just a picture of a lake.
Oh, okay.
with like
it's definitely probably then their role play group or something like that.
It's from factions. I didn't know if he was if the planet was something we've seen before.
No, I don't think the planet's real because it's I think it's a real place in the world, but
yeah, the picture looked like it was a legit place.
Yeah, what's the guy's name again?
Hold on, I'll tell you. EICH Horse _ art. But I just thought that color variation was like really, really cool.
Yeah, I like that.
The lime green is a harder to use Lego color.
It's a great color mix.
Yeah, this is the I don't know if everyone can see. Let's see here.
Hold on, I can do this.
My battery's about to die. There we go.
You have autofocus on?
Yeah, let's see here. There we go.
Okay. Okay. That's cool. I like that. I see.
Yeah.
It was definitely like a cool little aspect. And then next up, a guy that I met last year named Todd Jacobson had a really, really cool Star Wars mock. So I had him take a bunch of pictures. And the way that I've kind of laid these out in order, what do you think this is?
The AT. Or some type of snow tank that he made.
Here's a picture with it with somebody dressed up as General Veers.
Nice.
But this is like a scene that he made. Let me see if I can get to. It's a scene that he made that didn't really happen in the movie, but we know it happened. And it was when they were all loading up in the AT-ATs to go to Hoth. But like
cool.
It kind of reminded me of like Jay's build on Starkiller Base. It had all the little nooks that just had little details that not a lot of people would have took the time to like do. But like, I mean, down here you have like the little lounge there where they're getting drinks and stuff.
That's cool. The lights definitely help with this.
Yeah. The weird thing that I noticed too on this is like if you look at this photo, the top two rooms where the troopers are walking through, those tiles are so clean. Like light is just like beaming off of them.
Those are some fresh black tiles for sure.
Yeah. I know I have a better picture of that, but like even like in front of the AT-AT, they're lining up to.
I like the blue lights; those look good.
Yeah, and like this is the droid like repair room.
Yeah.
So not the lounge. Bummer.
Yeah, it's not the lounge. I'm pretty sure it has like a cafeteria thing in it. But like,
I like that's a great shot.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that is cool.
And like,
I got a guy who was cosplaying Kylo Ren to take a picture with my Starkiller Base, and that's like my favorite picture ever.
Heck yeah!
Did he actually look like Adam Driver? Or well, he had
he had his helmet on, so
yeah,
he might have, but it wasn't necessary.
Like here's like the little loading area. I will tell you that's very dangerous. They should have a railing there. I don't.
There's no such thing as OSHA.
Comply with OSHA regulations.
There's no such thing as OSHA.
It definitely does not meet code.
Oh wow, that's cool.
But like there's it with all the lights on and it shut all the like other lights shut off.
I love that the light actually shines through the glass window onto the.
Oh yeah,
that's cool.
That's a nice touch.
I tried to figure out like if you look up here, these lights are just shining straight down. So like I guess that tells you how bright they are.
Yeah, for it to be like blaring through the window. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's all how the plastic reflects the light too.
That's
If
off
it bends light,
that clean black tile.
literally.
But I mean, yeah, it
Oh wait,
definitely
scroll out
really-
again. Because it also looks like if you look at the top, there's something reflecting off the top too.
up here.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's just the
Look at the red. The red.
Oh,
Go back a picture, Richard. Look at the red reflecting above the window.
yeah.
It's almost
But I
like
believe
That's from the
polished
sides, I
tile.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really cool. I asked him how he built it almost like a commission, and it's sold now. I think he still has it because he has to do like a I think he called it a tour for Brick Convention with it.
Oh, okay.
But he sold it, and I didn't really I never thought that. I mean, I knew that there was people out there buying mocks. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just if someone come up to you, Jay, and was like, "I want to buy a Star Killer base."
Oh man, they'd have to have a lot of money, but I'd looking offers.
Yeah,
1.3 million. You're like
$1 million. $1 million. He better let that go.
Oh come on, man! Oh my god!
What would you say would be
100,000? I'm letting it go.
Would 100,000 be your limit?
It had to be very. I mean, in the moment, I don't know. I might be a little excited, but definitely, I feel like I don't know, man. I might have to run some numbers, but I feel like 100,000 is safe.
Yeah.
Have you ever disclosed, or have you ever said how much money you have in it?
I don't even know. I could I'd really have to go back and look at it because it's not like I bought everything for it at once. This is years and years of bricks that I've accumulated. So it really would just be a guesstimate of how much is it worth for me, and do I think I could recoup all the bricks plus profit and be all right. So that's kind of the way I would look at it.
Do you know about how many pieces are in it?
No clue. So there's no, I have no idea. It's a really big build.
Because my castle's around 80,000, and it's half the. How long was your build?
The build was it was I want to say 20 or so gray base plates long, and 4 2/3 gray base plates wide.
Wow.
So the castle right now is 6 by 6 of 32 by 32s.
Okay.
So, and I don't know for 100% fact because I'm not going to count every time I put a piece down, but I'm pretty sure I'm around the 80,000 mark. I'm comfortably to bet money that I'm in that 80. I mean, there's 9,000 pieces of water.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially when you build water like that, you can easily run through.
You can see right here. I just got my Lego order in. I'm sorting out more water. I had to order another 1,000.
Dang. Oh god, that is. I don't mean were they just the 1x1 studs? Was that what you're sorting, or what do you have?
No, I'm using the 1x2 plates because I'm putting the tile over top of it. That way I can add plates and slopes in different areas to show waves and texture.
Got you. Yeah, no. Oh god, brings back so many memories. I've been collecting a lot of trans blue tile and plate for eventually when I do a large scale scarifing, and I want to have enough water for that.
Were you at Brick Fair last year?
No, I got COVID. I was supposed to go, but I had COVID.
There was a lug in the back, and I'm thinking it was Charm City maybe, but they had that pirate mock that they built. And I literally watched them take 30 the gray base plates out of a box that were just 2 or 3 plates thick plus water. I mean plus tile of water, and they were just 1, 2, 3. And I think it was massive, it was huge. And I was just who in the world bought up all these pieces?
Jeez.
I don't know. It's one of those things that now that I would love to know. I'm sure I could get a close estimate, like I said, of actually how many pieces, because I could go back and look at orders. I would love to, just like Stud said, I would love to build something small, but I can't allow myself to do it. I just can't. The the castle when it's done will be 6 wide and 11 long.
Nice.
And I've already tried to cut the Clone Wars in half. Like I'm trying to have it 6x5 or 6x6 maybe.
What are you specifically doing from the Clone Wars?
I haven't really decided yet, so I can show you. I actually was kind of debating on whether I should like do some.
Oh, there's Mayo.
About this. Speaking of mini dolls, we got Mayo.
Mayo loves his mini dolls.
I was gonna actually start doing a video series about me like digitally building this because I don't know how you are with building, but the castle I just sat down and started going to town, and there was so many times just like this water where I've ran into scenarios where I'm like, well, I got to stop to order more. I got to stop to order more.
Yep.
I want to do something that. This is why I was talking to you, like commenting on about like on Drew's video with you on his channel. I want to do something that I can't catch crap for. That's like not technically canon.
I love the Star Wars. Got to be the only like fandom or like where people are like, I'm genuinely afraid of how the fans will perceive this if I make this. Like I've heard that from so many people. It's so funny.
But I want to build, so I want this to be a planet that is very like full of color, but I don't want it to be Felucia. How I've kind of started it being is just like a landing pad, or not like a landing pad, but like a loading zone.
Right. Okay.
And I think with the loading zone, I'm going to end up lowering it so there's not so many steps, because if this is a loading zone, you're obviously not going to walk up all these steps. Plus, like, that's the door they're walking through. So what exactly are you loading?
Right. Okay. I got you.
I kind of roughly built like a huge garage door or hangar door.
That looks fun, man.
And then back here, all of this, and this will go one more set back. But well, basically what I'm doing is I want there to be a non-canon kind of version of like Order 66 going down. So my plan was to build a clone base that was kind of hiding Jedi that were showing maybe I want a lot of computers in there. I want a lot of like, I even thought about making the top room because it'll go up higher than that, but a top room being like a research center.
Okay.
And I'm really gonna show like I like destruction in mocks, like I like blown up buildings and stuff like that. And one of the things I wanted to do was show this base built into a mountain.
Right.
At the top of the mountain, I want a huge landing pad to be sticking out that has a Republic gunship on it. And I want there to be a ATTE inside shooting a hole through the wall going out.
Wow. Okay.
And then I want the like pretty much I've been buying tons of especially when I know you're going to tell it's where the body came from, but whenever those Republic fighter tanks went on sale for like $25,
yep,
I was buying them to get those Mace Windows so I can just pop the head off and put other heads to have like other Jedis.
Okay, I got you.
And I really want it to be just basically my own made up planet, especially since in Ahsoka we've realized now that there are other universes. Just like Order 66 going down on like an unforeseen planet. Right. But I do
That's
like
fun. Yeah, I like you get a lot of like creative freedom with that for sure.
So I'm also designing a World War II mock, and when you're talking about like Clone Wars people or like the Star Wars people being like, well, that didn't happen that way.
Oh, I can imagine. Oh my god.
That they're even worse. So I got a lot of crap. And I didn't even understand this 2 years ago or last year when I went to Brick Fair. I took my city. My city was literally like a depiction of New York City in Marvel Comics. Like there was an Empire State Building, but there was like the Daily Bugle, there was Stark Tower, and there was a lot of like destruction and just pop culture references everywhere. Well, I literally put a German tank from Brickmania in the city and put a German flag on it that they had. And somebody called me out because the German flag didn't coincide with the like same year as the tank was. And I was like, I understand that. I was like, I just threw it. Like there was an American tank, a German tank, and a Russian tank, and they all three had the flags from their corresponding like countries. And I was like, this is what you're calling me out on.
Bro, the military builder's a different breed, bro.
Oh, I know.
Right.
I've been like so the castle, I can make up off the top of my head. Whatever happens, happens.
Right.
The Clone Wars thing, if I do it on my own planet, it's whatever happens, happens. But this World War II mock that I've been trying to do, I've really been trying to do like research to find out what vehicles were there, what was there, who was there, like
how the buildings were affected then.
Yeah. I know that there's a lot of heat that people get. And now I've been at conventions, just like I'm sure you have. I've seen where people get to that point where someone stops them and starts talking to them, and they're like even with your like Star Killer base, like, well, Mickey Mouse wasn't there. Like there's those.
I mean, that mouse got to made a lot of decisions to make.
Real guys.
But those people do exist. There is those people that will call out everybody.
Oh yeah.
Just like I said, me being called out because of a German tank had a flag on it that was from a different era. It's like, what in the world? I actually got called out last year, and the guy, it was an older man. I had no idea who he was. He came up to me. He was like, do you know your arrow slits in your castle are backwards? I was like, what are you talking about? They're backwards. And he was like, well, let me show you. And he went to where I had these crosses. And I was like, yeah, I didn't really put those as arrow slits. I was like, the reason why they're backwards is because they're made with slopes, and the LEDs that are inside, if the slopes are turned a certain way, that they're going to hit the backside of that slope and not reflect light out. It's just going to shine on the inside. So if I do it that way, it's going to keep all the light inside and really light up that cross. He was like, well, I know, but that's backwards.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm telling you why I did it, though. He was like, well, I don't care why you did it. I'm just telling you it's backwards.
Some people like just hearing their opinions outside.
Yeah, Kylo image. I don't know if y'all wanted to pull that up real quick, but
the what?
The Kylo image with my mock.
Oh. Let me.
It's a pretty funny picture.
But yeah, like I definitely can see the people. Like, there's gonna be. And that's just like your one picture of fame right there.
That's the one, man.
That's what made you.
I got it whenever I built Scarif a while back. I got like it was at a convention like this, and there was like a Scarif trooper who took a picture with it. So whenever I get lucky like this, I try to take advantage of it. Like the moment I saw like Kylo, I'm like, oh my, like bro, you gotta come here. Like you have to take a picture with this. Please.
Whoa, his cafeteria has a hot dog in it, Rich.
That means you gotta buy it. That means you gotta buy it.
All right, 95.
we have found out that Drew has a fascination with, if you ever want him to buy a set, Lego just has to put a hot dog in it. It doesn't
really?
It doesn't matter how relevant the set is to whatever he's building. If it has a hot dog, he's going after it.
I don't know where that came from. I just happened to one time say, look, there's a hot dog in this set for the new fire sets. And then in the fire station, there's another hot dog. I'm like,
yeah, there's like all the skinny sets that got like leaked a couple weeks ago, or like actually proven. If you look through the pictures of them, there's like a hot dog, like one of them's a hot dog on the grill being burnt, and then there's like a normal hot dog. There's like in the fire station, there's like a random plate with a hot dog on it.
I approve.
They're really pushing the hot dogs.
Hot dog supremacy.
Oh man.
Secret society of the hot dog warriors.
Right.
I'm gonna I'm gonna make a little squad in the army of like 15 guys, and instead of swords, they're just all gonna be holding hot dogs.
Please do. Please do. Please do. Hey, when you make your new Bearded Bricks t-shirts the next time, just put a hot dog underneath the BB so it looks like a smiley face.
Just a hot dog smiley.
Right. I may be the only person who buys it, but I'll do it.
Dude, you need to make a logo where it's your minifigure just like eating a hot dog.
True. That'd be
But
funny.
what we were talking about before, like that is it's very, first of all, it's very ballsy for someone to come up to somebody and be like, "Hey, your mock's wrong."
Yeah.
But like the audacity of people is there, so
Yeah,
that's gonna happen. So like with the Clone Wars thing, like I know that there's going to be like, so I actually went through a huge thing today, which is I'm one of those type of people where I like to go above and beyond. With the castle, I had a bunch of flags printed. I've taken all of the pretty much like 90% of my army is now supplied with brick warriors, like weapons and stuff, just to stand out from everybody that's doing like normal Lego things.
right.
The guy who printed the flags for me is already printed clone banners for me, and certain cloths and stuff, so I can show like, you know, like if a faction, like a different like legion is landing, you know, 501st, if they come into 332nd territory, the 332nd are going to have their banners up, stuff like that. And I think it really kind of stands out versus what normal people are doing. And I was telling the guy that prints my flags and stuff like that, I was like, would you be willing to do something controversial for this World War II mock? And he was like, what are you talking about? I was like, no one's going to do it. And I was like, so you're probably going to tell me no, but would you print me the swastika banner so I can hang it from one of the buildings? And he was like, absolutely not. And I was like, I get it. And he was like, but I have a question. He was like, let's say I do it. And he was like, if I do them for you, are you going to be allowed to display them? And I was like, you know what? I never thought of that.
Probably
I was like,
not.
I guarantee
I think we steer clear that one.
Yeah.
So we're not doing that. We made a compromise, and they're just going to be red banners, but you'll get the hint. I was like, I really, even though it's like
logo on it, same thing.
Well, dude, that scene that you have of that you built from episode 7 is really like,
well, yeah, it's very on the nose. As someone like comments like on that video about that, they're like, oh, like they weren't even super rude about it. They were just like, did you feel like any like shame for building that? And I was like, like not really, but like I can kind of see like the imagery just on its own might be like jarring and leave an impression on people. So like I get it from a certain stance, but like it's Star Wars. Like, these are white armored troops.
My favorite, I'm going to say debate, I'm not going to call it an argument, that I've had so far was when I decided to take my army and go from yellow heads to flesh tones. I actually told Drew about this last week. I bought like, I think it was like 100 of every one that was on Lego's Pick a Brick as a bestseller. So they were like nougat, light nougat, they're reddish brown, like all colors that they had. And a guy commented on the video that I made about it and was like, you do realize African Americans weren't knights back in the day. And I was like, what?
Right?
I was like, did you just think they didn't exist? Or did like
meanwhile they're like riding dragons and
have you ever seen Game of Thrones? What are you talking about?
Right?
This is fantasy. Like
I was like, I even told him, I think the comment is still out there, but I was like, let me get this straight. I was like, the problem with you is I have an African American knight, but the Indian knight that's riding a dragon above the castle is perfectly fine.
Right.
I was like, wow. That's been the only time that I've ever had like I guess the person come up to me and just be like, what are you doing type scenario.
We had like I don't want to call it controversy. I feel like that's giving it too much life, but like there's a similar situation whenever Lego released that like Hoth clone pack, and like certain subset of the community had a meltdown because there were like people of color as like rebel troopers and that, and I'm like, bro, like this is not a real army. Like
who cares?
Bro, like
I don't get why people throw such
like I was foregoing accuracy to standard.
They're shooting laser guns on a snow planet, and your problem is the color of the tree. The thing that people don't realize too is the dumbness of their comments on that, because if Lego doing that is actually really smart. It's opening up the people's eyes to relate. I mean,
Absolutely.
that's ingenious of them. They would be dumb not to do that.
Yeah.
But like just
Also
somebody to
getting more flesh tone like heads out there, like proliferate in the community. Because the thing about it is, like, I mean, I personally, I think they need to just get rid of the yellow heads in general. I think like it's about that.
whoa, really?
I know that's a hot take, but I think it's about the time to just move on from the yellow heads. I think every like it should just be the way they do with the IPs, and like because of the way they have it set up, the only way we can get flesh tone heads is through IPs, which are inherently, especially in Star Wars, going to be more expensive. So for them to start throwing out more sets like that have those heads, it just like helps proliferate those throughout the community. Like I've actually given it some thought. Like I want to do a city at some point, and I'm like, man, like if I do it, like, do I want to do yellow minifigures or do I want flesh tone? I'm like for the amount of realism that I like in my builds, like I certainly would like to, you know, do accurate skin tones and like a city mock. But I'm just like, how is that? How would it be possible to scale that up with a variety of heads, like giving the status quo? So like Lego making that more and more available makes that more and more of a possibility.
Yeah.
The city that I had built was just like you're saying, but with yellow heads. So everybody that was in my city that was IP'd had a flesh tone head. The random civilians were the ones that just had yellow, but that was just because it was like I didn't care to mix and match them at the time. Right now, the only people in the army that have yellow heads whatsoever are people that sent me sig figs. That had yellow heads. But I do believe to go against you, it's some like so the foosball table really opened us up to have a lot of flesh tone heads that weren't securely for someone.
Right.
Like Harry Potter looks like Harry Potter. Ron Weasley looks like Ron Weasley. Kylo Ren looks like Kylo Ren. Anakin looks like Anakin. But they opened up the ability to just have a bunch of random heads. And I would love them to keep going with more like that. But I don't know how I feel about, like, I'm thinking of pirates. Just because pirates have so many funny faces that they've done on yellow heads. That if they'd done it on flesh tones, now, like, thinking about it, I believe the mock would look cleaner. But, like, I still think that it's getting away from that, like, classic Lego look.
I mean, I think like, if you compare like a Lego, like compare like Pirates of Barracuda Bay to like the original pirate sets, I think like the yellow minifigures are the only thing about that I would say are like adhering to classic Lego. Like in terms of like the quality of builds, the pieces that exist now, we're so far removed from what we would consider classic Lego. Like look at like a Lego car from the 80s compared to a Speed Champions now. So I think if we're that willing to like let the build standards pretty much get blown out of the water now with the new pieces and stuff that we're willing to implement into sets, like why are we still adhering to yellow minifigures? Which I feel, I mean people are gonna like combat me on this, but like the yellow minifigure heads are exclusionary. Like as a kid, I never related to yellow minifigures. Whenever they started doing the brown ones, like I was super happy because I was finally able to have a minifigure that looked like me. Like and people say like, oh, like the yellow is there to not represent any particular type of like skin tone, but there's a skin tone that it's very similar to, and then there's skin tones that like you would never mistake it for. And I use like in pop culture, like with the Simpsons, like yellow is usually like regularly accepted as like, you know, representing like white people, and like they have no issue relating to that. But when you look at like other people, like you're not able to get that connection. So if we're just doing it to adhere, like to have it look like classic Lego, I just don't see the reason, especially since we already have so many minifigures that are already doing it. Like all the IP figures do it, and there's no issue with it. The mini dolls do it as well. And like at this point, like they may as well just have them.
That was a point that I was about to make or bring up, is the fact that mini dolls are flesh toned.
Yeah.
But the other thing too is I would be okay with them doing flesh tones if they kept the ability to have really funny expressions on flesh tones. Because you know now
having them like not, because I get what you mean. Like the IP figures usually have maybe an increased level of realism, So
Oh,
like
yeah.
the yellow, I get what you mean, but I think there's for sure a way they could still maintain that same like whimsical nature of the figures and without
But
having them look
I
too.
agree with you, like, because I keep joking about doing. I'm one of those people that I always fear, especially, and Star Wars is what drove the Lego fear into me. That if you don't buy it when you have a chance to buy it, you're immediately screwed when it's gone.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do a pirate mock sometime in the future. And when they came out with the El Dorado Fortress, it gave a chance to get like 7 or 8 different torsos that are very piratey. So I bought 130 of them. I was like, I don't want it to be like with the, even with the Black Falcons now, they're off a bestseller. And Lego has shut down their pick-a-brick to where it has the non-bestseller items for right now. And I believe one of the reasons why
do
they
that
shut
during
it
the
down.
Christmas season, yeah.
Well, I think a real big reason they're doing it this season is also to get rid of all that retired pieces that they keep saying they were going to retire.
That makes sense too, yeah.
I believe it's a time for them to do that huge purge. And with that being said, there's going to be a lot of pieces, even in the mocking world, that we all wish we would have gotten that now are on Bricklink, and the prices are going up. And minifigures are a prime example of that. So I wanted to get them while the getting was good, I guess you could say. And I fear like that. There's very few sets that I feel like I have to have. A lot of sets I'm like, hey, I can deal without it. And the TIE Fighter helmet was a prime example of that set was easily achievable, and now it's $280.
Yeah. I feel you. Yeah,
So,
no, I think I got to the point where, like, I mean, I get it. Trust me, at one point I was super like, man, like I gotta get, if I don't get this now, I'll forever regret it. And I think I got to the point where I'm just like I think about like kind of like what figures will I need that I don't have, and like in mass for something I'd want to do down the line. And I think about like the dark orange battle droids because I want to do Geonosis at some point, those and Geonosians. And I'm like, I could like load up on Geonosian figures now, because I mean they're not going to get cheaper like until they redo it basically. And I guess I just kind of convinced myself like, look, like I'm not gonna like go crazy trying to take advantage of it now. Like at this point, I'm content just waiting for them to put out more Geonosians, and then at that point, I'll get what I need and I'll be good. Like I think like it's an issue with everyone in the community, like the fear of missing out and that like, oh, I gotta get this now, otherwise I'm gonna pay the price later. And I just kind of accepted like, even if like Lego, especially at this point, like keep things in circulation a lot better than they do now. Like we have a lot fewer droughts now, I guess, when it comes to desirable things, especially just with like the increased like fan engagement with Lego. Like there's not nearly as many things now where it's like please like release this thing. Like I remember like the UCS Falcon, for example, was like the most expensive set on the aftermarket. They redid that. The Star Destroyer was the same way. They redid that. So I'm not nearly as like pressed about, oh, I gotta get this now, because chances are like if it's something that's really desirable, it'll get redone. So yeah. I'm far more accepting of like even if I miss it this time, like I don't mind waiting for the next round, because I can't be like going crazy trying to get everything all at once. Like it just, I don't know.
I mean, I believe you're 100% correct in what you just said, because that's what I was going to say. There's very few. If the set comes out and the set is a set, you don't necessarily have to have it. The minifigs are easy to get. A prime example of a lot of things are like the Captain Rex issue that everybody's dealing with right now. Everybody bought a $45 Captain Rex that came with a $650 Venator that is now easily obtainable next year. Yep. And I don't think people realize all the time that if you rush out, which a lot of this comes from me being a mock builder, I always think of, I could do it, if the UCS Falcon is the one that which I have all the UCS sets up for like the last 3, but it was the set that I had to have. That's actually the set what got me into doing this channel. And I think that there's certain sets that are always going to have that pull. If they were to do if they were to redo a certain set that was just something that you had to have that stood out, you're going to want it. If they were to do, like Stud just said, the bad Ewok movie, but if they were to do another Ewok Village, there's 3 people that are in this hosting right now that are going to go out and buy that Ewok Village. I don't think Drew's going to miss it. I know I'm not, and I don't think you are.
Not at all.
And it's one of the reasons why I've put off buying a Jabba. I really want a Jabba the Hutt. I don't want all the Star Wars minifigures like you're going after. I can't do that. But I do want
doing that now is unfeasible.
Do you have the like expensive ones?
I mean, I have the most expensive ones, other than like the New York I Heart Yoda. But like I have, Chrome C-3PO. I have Cloud City Boba Fett. I have a lot of the expensive ones like knocked out, thankfully. The few ones I have like 7 figures left. They average like $200 a piece, so they're all still expensive, but they aren't among like the super crazy ones that I'm glad I got when I got them.
And that's one of the things that, like, I guess it's easier to go on Bricklink and buy the minifig than if you don't like the Bad Batch. I bought the Bad Batch. I didn't buy the Bad Batch shuttle. The Inquisitors. I bought the Inquisitors and not the Inquisitor ship.
Right.
Just because I think that it can be done better.
Yeah.
Trevor said
when you become a mock builder like that, like I feel like it's nice because you feel much less beholden to Lego. Like maybe I miss out on this set, but like if it's something I really want and I want a good version of it, like I can either build it or find someone else who has built it and I'll be good. Like,
yeah,
I don't need to get this just because it's here now. Like,
you realize that when you buy that $200 Star Wars set and it comes with 1,700 pieces, and then you can go to Lego Pick-a-Brick and build that or build a better version and spend that money, you get so much more out of it.
Exactly.
Well, that's why it's like it's more of like if there's a character that they probably only make once, get the first one, and then because the rest will be okay. Like all like from the Clone Wars eras, like the first Commander Gree and the first Commander Fox and the first Commander Cody and the first Captain Rex, like those will always be expensive and you can't get those back. But like there shouldn't be FOMO with it with all these new ones because they're just repeating stuff until and over and over and over again. You know that like.
Well, the purists out there will be like, well, this one had a mark on its chest that this one didn't, and then this other one came with a mark on the helmet that this one didn't. So I gotta have all 4.
That's why I'm like, okay, show me your credentials to appraise my item, and then I'll listen to you. But until then, I'm gonna sell it as it is, and if it's expensive, it's expensive.
I mean, I don't think I've really seen, which I might sound really dumb saying this and be completely wrong, but I've not really seen like the market for like misprinted figs like they are with like basketball cards or something like dude, if LeBron gets like printed on like a card that's not his, the world goes crazy. The Lego had a problem with, I forgot was it the 332nd Troopers that the helmets were messed up? The printing was messed up on some, or was it 501st?
I mean, it happens with a lot of them. And I wouldn't say people go crazy, but there's definitely a market for misprints out there. Like the 501st ones, I think had probably a good amount of like notable like misprints, and people were paying like $200-300 for like the helmet misprint, which that is beyond me. But like, I don't know.
Trevor said that 2/12 was a big one. And Stud said Ryan told him the Yoda is like the NYC Yoda is from $5,000 to $8,000.
That whole market is just like kind of screwed up though. Like there's so many fakes out there. Yeah. There's so few of them in circulation. Like, yeah, it's kind of a mess.
If you're paying $8,000 for a Yoda, that's
for an ugly Yoda.
That just has a plain white T-shirt that says "I love New York City."
Yeah, It's so dumb, man. It sucks.
Right?
I don't know that there is a minifigure that is like expensive that I've went after. So I have 4 goats, but the goats that I lucked out on, I bought those late in the game. Like as of this year is when I started buying them. But I had friends that had them that weren't using them that were going to let me buy them for cheaper because they know that I wasn't just flipping them. I have a Darth Revan that I lucked out on and getting it in a lot that I bought. It is open, but I still have a Darth Revan. There's 2 of them that are both opened, and then I've got
$0.
I've got like plenty of figs that I've looked out upon, but I've not went after an expensive fig. And the one that I really want to go after, there's very few of them to hit Bricklink, and I don't think that they really sell when they do. But I want the Comic-Con exclusive of Phoenix.
Okay.
From Marvel.
I'm so glad I'm not a Marvel fan. I think like for the fandom, it sucks so hard that they do Comic-Con exclusive figures. Like if you want to collect all of them, like bro, like that's one guaranteed figure every year. Like unless you go and get lucky, like.
Well, yeah, if you go, you still don't have the potential to get one. Like
I don't think you got to go and get lucky.
You have to know someone.
Yeah, no, that's like that whole situation's a mess. Like I would hate that.
I think that like the Star Wars game isn't even as bad as like the Marvel game when it comes to minifigures being I guess that many. Like there's 20 different versions of Darth Vader, but there's 40 different versions of Iron Man.
Like, 1,000 different versions of Luke.
Yeah. So you have
shout out to Lego for not tormenting Star Wars fans with the comic. Man, could you imagine? Like, I mean, I know like Marvel fans are big, but like Lego Star Wars fans, I feel are a different level. Like, if there was like an exclusive like Comic-Con Lego Star Wars figure every year, like, oh my god, that would be a mess. Ugh.
What all are there? There's an Iron Centron, right? There's an Iron Centron. There's a Dark Phoenix. There's the Collector.
There's what's it called? Deadpool Duck.
Yeah.
I was saying, no, I'm saying like if they did that with Star Wars though.
That would be. Well, I mean, you got to think it would almost be like that New York City Yoda every year.
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly. It would. Yeah. That's literally how. I mean, I think people. It would. I would hope it. Theoretically, I don't think it would get that bad. I think people are more like. But the Yoda thing slipped so under the radar.
Yeah.
And there were so few of them that, like, I think that it was kind of like the perfect storm of now. It's just like this stupidly obscure figure.
What was it? You had to be. Didn't you?
It was at New York Comic Con. I want to say they made like 1,000 here. Let me see.
But you had to be a part of something to get one, didn't you?
I want to say they gave it no, it was a Toys R Us thing. Let's see.
Oh yeah, wasn't it for the opening in Toys R Us in New York City or something like that?
It's not even the opening because that Toys R Us has been around for a while. Let's see.
I've never I don't know, stuff like that is really cool, but I don't have the want to go after stuff like that.
Only reason I do is because I'm doing a minifig wall. Like there are very few expensive figures that I would like. I'm not a huge like, oh, I want this figure because it's nostalgic. I'm more so like a practical kind of person. I'm like is this a detailed figure that I'd want for a mod? And at this point, like with how regularly we get like figures updated, like there's becoming fewer and fewer of them that you need. Like you're like oh, I need this figure and it happens to be expensive, but like it's the best version of it. Like I think like maybe a lot of like the old like the Jedis are kind of becoming that way, which kind of sucks. Like those are getting expensive, but like those are really the only kinds of figures that I would go after, even if they were expensive, just because like I need I can't just not have the character. Like the character needs to be there. So, but when it comes to like the weird like gimmick ones, like the prototype White Boba Fett, like I don't need that. Like I'll never do anything with that other than put it on my wall. So
I don't know how y'all feel about this because there's a lot of people that think there's the opposite. But I feel like every time they come up with another print of a fig, it's better than the last. That Mace Windu that we got in the Republic Tank Fighter, his robes are a lot better. The arm prints, the same like the newest Ahsoka that well, I'm not gonna say the newest Ahsoka, but the one that come with the like Darth Maul little fight scene, the
like the throne battle.
Yeah, that was like $25 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that Ahsoka is really, really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Count Dooku's a good example of an expensive, important character.
I also throw Cloud City Lando up there. Even the newer one is expensive, but that's like you just got to bite the bullet on that one. Like that's Lando.
You know what actually is my favorite?
Even
Lando,
the 20th anniversary one only has the print on the very back, which the cape hides.
Yeah, that's what I would say. The 20th anniversary Lando is one of the best print, like for price.
Yeah.
But it's still, I feel like the one from the newer Cloud City one though, I feel is like that's my preferred Lando, and like it's updated. So that's what and the cape even has detail. Like, oh, it's so good. I love that figure. But yeah, that's another one that like I would just have to buy. I fortunately have it. I bought the set, thankfully. But that's one where if I didn't have it, I would just have to bite the bullet.
Yeah, that reminds me of well, Richie. Oh, here it is. I think one of my favorite Landos is from the Han Solo movie. Well, this is
the yellow shirt one.
Yeah. Although this is the older Lando, I guess. But this one, I don't know if it'll focus. There we go.
Oh yeah, that's Rise of Skywalker Lando.
Yeah. I love the capes and the printing, and it just looks super clean.
It was a cool figure. I like that figure.
There's like I said, it definitely that. I mean, that's like I said, why I haven't went and bought Jabba the Hutt. Why am I going to buy Jabba the Hutt? I know they're going to make another one.
Yeah. I mean, what was you saying? They're doing
the sail barge.
Yeah. So, unless they pull a total like 180 and put a brick built Jabba in that, which would be kind of weird.
I don't think they would. I don't think they will. Because
I know they won't, but part of me's like, I can see it. I can just see it.
I can't. The reason why I can't is because that I feel like if they do a sail barge, it's going to be a UCS style sail barge because we got it's not going to even be that massive. The X-Wing is still a UCS set and it's like $250. So if they were to do a sail barge like that, I think I'm pretty sure it's retired now, but the Isley Cantina, the dewback in it, it wasn't brick built, and I feel like that mold being only made for that UCS set, I could see them doing that for the Jabba the Hutt. Like I really don't think they're going to.
More than likely, it'll be the molded Jabba, and it'll have some like new print on it too, so it'll be like even like more expensive than the old ones, which will like make people go crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't. Part of me though, I don't know the what do they call it? Like the intrusive thoughts in Lego's mind is like, really like just like cause a controversy. Like
you're gonna get those like one by one tiled eyes that come in like every
like head eyes. Yeah. Oh my god.
When they scary eyes from Yoda kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna look like Rocket Raccoon.
Yes.
Rabbit Raccoon. Rabbit Rocket.
When the way I felt about that kind of is the big Jurassic Park dinosaur they did with the gate, the T-Rex.
Yeah.
I really hated that they didn't do a special mold to come up with those eyes. Like I love that set, but I really hate how it's just like a 1x1 tile with a print that now is in a lot of sets.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Like I really wish it would have, but now, like I said, that's going to be absolutely funny if they come out with the sail barge and it just has like, because we know we're not getting a Slave Leia. We know that. That's not.
I don't subscribe to that. I think if they make that set, Slave Leia would be in it. How do you just omit that? Like I think they would do it. I don't think they would just not include that.
I don't know. I feel like that might push some boundaries. I mean, we know for a fact it's not going to be
No.
called Slave Leia.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, they could just call it like Leia and then be whatever. But I don't know. I think that like nothing official has really ever been said about that. So I wouldn't say that it's off the table. I think if they made that set, they would have to. Otherwise, just don't make the set. I think it sounds weird to say, but like if you're just gonna like ignore like a pretty like pivotal character to that like scene, don't even invite the discourse. Like just avoid the set.
Mm-hmm.
You're just gonna see all these like beautiful printed figures with like this brick head eyed Java sitting in the back.
Just get him in the tongue.
Yeah.
And actually, so Trevor says the print will be Jabba's sleepy / dead expression. That would actually be hilarious. Right? If they like have like this like tongue like hanging out of his mouth, like that would be hilarious.
That's a pretty funny like. And see, that was like also like where he's talking about like that print, and like we're talking about like brick built.
It's not gonna be a print. It's gonna be a sticker.
Yikes!
Just give me a job with a like sticker. That's all I want.
A 2x2 round tile that you just attach this like tongue sticking out sticker to your $500 sail barge with.
No, it'll be a carrot, dude. It'll be.
It'll be the like a minifig like animal tail, like where you put it between the legs and the torso that you just like mash it.
Right.
Yo, I'm telling you, we can design a good looking brick Jabba guy. You don't need to buy one, Joe. Just build one. No big
right.
deal.
Exactly.
I feel that set's gonna. I don't know I have put off buying. I have not bought the Razor Crest yet. I have not bought the X-wing, and I have not bought the AT-AT. And the AT-AT is really like a weird thing that I have not bought it because the AT-AT is my favorite Star Wars vehicle.
It's my favorite Lego set.
Really?
You got the AT? Oh yeah, AT-AT. Yeah.
So the joke was, and it's really not a joke anymore. There's like a lot of depression set in behind it. But the only way I was going to get the AT-AT was I promised somebody I was going to get it with points.
Okay.
Well, I'm actually at those points right now, and double VIP points hit, and the set was on back order. So I was like, "You're kidding me!" But their AFOL day is coming up this Saturday, and I'm going to the Lego store. So if they have the AT-AT, I'll walk out with it.
There you go.
That's awesome, man. That set is everything. I love that set so much.
I have I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure who done it, but I have 3 different AT-ATs that were designed by different people. One of them I think is rebrickable. 2 of them, I believe the instructions were bought and sent to me.
Okay.
But I have those, and it's sad because like the one that I have, my favorite one is really, really detailed. And it's really like big compared to a normal AT-AT. And I know that the UCS AT-AT is even bigger.
Yeah.
So
minifig scale, man. So that's where dreams come true.
It isn't as detailed as your AT-MT though. That was.
I got him sitting right there. Actually,
you didn't take it apart?
Nah, never. I don't. I mean, unless something like tragic happens, I don't take my vehicles apart.
Is that the only one that you've built? Is that one?
Oh, yeah. Maybe I always like kind of flirted with the idea of doing another crate mock, and if I did another one, I'd do it like full size. So I built like 8 ATM6s if I did that.
Yeah, that's like what, a $2,000 set?
Probably more than that.
Really?
That build has I want to say like 18,000 pieces if I'm not mistaken. So
wow,
maybe 16,000. So it's probably a little bit more than 2K.
Jesus.
I would redesign it though. I would want I've just evolved so much as a builder since I built that. So like I would change like everything about it. Same thing with like AT-AT. Like I would like, and that's what I've really been lately thinking about redoing.
Yeah,
that's really it. Like I said when we first came on tonight, it's always funny how much you progress without realizing it. And you could look at something like your AT and just be like, oh well, if I redid it, I know how to do this so much better now.
Oh yeah, like the angles and everything. Like back then, I was just, especially I was building it like alongside like my Crate Mock series. So it was, I wouldn't say it was rushed, but it was definitely something where I was like I gotta get like there's a very like obvious deadline for this. Like we're taking it to this convention, so I had to have it done by then. So I designed and built the thing within like a month, which is kind of ridiculous for something like that. But it kind of had to be done quickly, and I'm very happy with it. But yeah, like I would approach like everything differently now.
Yeah.
The one thing that like I would change, like, because of course I would want to change a bunch of stuff in the castle. One of the things is the light scenario, because I made like there's literally room in every room. There's like a little hole for lights to be ran through. But I was using a company that I really, the more I used them, the more I had a hatred for them. And it became really hard to use their stuff because they didn't sell like a junction. So if I had 4 lights in a room, I had 8 wires that were running, and I was trying to hide to go all the way through. And then I would have to carry those 8 wires into another room and then another room. So it really got to a point where I was like, I can't do this, because the castle now is built dollhouse style, if you will. So every room is visible.
Gotcha.
And it killed me as a person to know that you could see those wires.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it isn't like a castle has a freaking baseboard that you can just run wires through.
Yeah.
But it was the one thing that kills me the most is I didn't make a tower round.
Oh yeah.
But the hard thing is the scale at the castle. I would have literally had to make this tower like this big. And that becomes really not necessarily hard, but when it comes to building an interior, because my castle is all open now,
right,
I couldn't show an interior, and it would be me buying those Gene would know the proper name for them, but the 1x2 plates that are round edges.
Rounded edges, yeah. I got you.
And you're talking, if you're doing one at that scale, you're gonna need 4,000 of them.
Easily, yeah. They had them in dark tan on the wall. I would love to see them put like that. If that was in like light bluish gray on the wall, that'd be good. Yeah.
I don't think anybody would see it. It would just be
it'd be always gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When last year or 2 years ago at Brick Fair, Virginia, we all met up whenever they were opening the Lego store for the release of the UCS Republic gunship.
I didn't go to that. All my friends got up early for that. I was like, no, I'm good. But
I went for the experience.
Yeah.
I wish I would go to something like that now, being bigger into the community as I am. But like, it's also really weird because I don't know how to say this without sounding like cocky, I guess. But it's really weird because I can walk into a Lego store down here and nobody knows who I am. But at Brick Fair, Virginia, now people know who I am.
Right.
So it's like it's an odd feeling. But I'll never forget that when those doors open, they made you get a Lego piece that they had off their pick-a-brick wall to correspond with a set. So you couldn't just run in and grab something off the shelf. If you wanted a Republic gunship, you had to go with whatever Lego piece. Well, I remember one of the smaller sets, they handed me a 1x2 light translucent blue tile. And I asked the woman that handed it to me, I was like, you handed me this off the pick-a-brick wall, right? And she goes, yeah. And I was like, hold up. I was like, don't even worry about whatever set this goes to. I was like, how many of these do you think you have? And she was like, oh, sweetie, we have 2 boxes in the back. I was like, you're kidding me. And she's like, no. I was like, can I get both of those boxes? And she's like, when you go in to get your set at the register, find me. And I don't know if you know Chef in the Lego community, the UP Chef. He ended up getting a cup full. And I took every one that they had, all the boxes, all the stuff that was off the wall. And I literally, I've got 4 gallon size baggies just full. And I was like, that was the one piece that I was like, you're kidding. This isn't on the wall.
That's a great piece. I loved when that was on the wall. That was freaking awesome.
I don't. Is there ever been a piece that y'all just like seen hit the wall that you're like, God, I gotta get?
I mean, back in the day when there were horses on the wall, that was probably the like.
That
the
I think
weirdest-
that time period's gone. We'll never see that again.
Oh yeah, it'll never happen again. But that was
No.
like that was definitely like the one that like kind of like I'll always remember like, bro, like how is that even possible?
They had it was a store here in North Carolina. I guess it was last like 3 quarters ago, maybe 2 quarters ago. I walked in and they were putting out the new stuff, and they were putting out 2x4 dark bluish gray tiles. And I was like, "You don't have to."
2x4 dark bluish gray tile.
Yeah,
When was this?
it was last like maybe 6 months ago, 2 quarters ago, 7 months ago. I literally like stopped them and I was like, "You don't have to put these out." I was like, "I'll take them." I bought the entire box.
Lego
they had.
store or a Lego land?
Lego store.
Lego store.
What? I've never seen that.
There's been the 1x2 dark bluish gray tiles.
I've seen that.
They had those.
I got a bunch of those.
I'm trying to think some other crazy pieces that have been in there lately.
Lots of good leaf pieces.
Yeah, leaf pieces.
Plants have been.
Yeah. I like they put the dark green like finger leaf pieces. That was really cool.
Oh,
I like
they
Yeah. I bought all those.
They had the cheese slope trans blue, dark blue, and then they had these on the Brickin wall too.
Yep.
These are a must. Because what, Gene? Aren't these like 30 cents almost a piece sometimes?
Yeah. In tan.
I got my chair.
I was about to say, I've got a box sitting here beside me full.
Flood the market.
Yeah, but you have to drop them on Bricklink right now.
Right.
Well, see, it's so weird because if you go to like a Lego store, they always have like a random like 6 or 7 bins with pieces to create like a car.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Well, this time when I went back, I mean, I hadn't even sorted this, but they had like arches, they had wagon wheels, they had red roof slopes, they had a whole bunch of snow, like just a bunch of pieces I would have never thought they would.
this right here is my recent
castle.
This is my Lego store recent pick a brick flex. These ladders.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Because I was buying them from Gene, and Gene would only come up because he constantly sorts like used stuff, but he only come across like 2 every month.
Yeah.
And I had a buddy that messaged me. He lives in Georgia. And he was like, "Dude, aren't you?" He's a part of the lug I'm in, and he was like, "Dude, aren't you trying to get some of these ladders?" I was like, "Yeah, why?" He's like, "Because my Lego store has them on the pick a brick wall." I was like, "Grab me 2 cupfuls." I was like, "I'll never," because they were getting to be like 60 cents a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the funny thing, right after Richard bought all the ones we had, we went to the Lego store at Concord Mills Mall about 2 weeks later and bought half a cup full.
There you go.
It's really weird how like the East Coast works, but I have there's some people in my lug that live in Atlanta, and then there's some people that live in South Carolina, and then there's me in North Carolina. Whatever whatever Atlanta gets, I have about a week and a half to 2 weeks before my store sees it.
Okay.
So I've got a good like heads up because like there's a Discord I'm in, and literally there is a page that just has pictures of like pick a brick walls, and everybody's pretty good about like whatever you need, just give me a chance. The recently was like the dark orange, or I think it was dark orange or dark tan, one or the other. The profile bricks, the masonry bricks, those those do not stand a chance.
Yeah.
Will says that his store has 1x10 gray bricks.
Yeah, we had that for a while. That was actually not a super popular piece. Like,
is that a good deal though?
Well, yeah, they're kind of a pain to buy though. 1x10 doesn't fit many in a cup.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like you'd be better off buying those from a Bricklink store.
Yeah.
Like, because
I'd have to do the math. I can't say for sure.
I will tell you right now, and I did find this out. A profile, the masonry bricks, the 1x2, it doesn't matter color, but I use the light bluish gray, for example. I bought 500 of them, 1,000 of them, and it cost me like $80.
Hmm.
And that 1,000 just about fit in one pick-a-brick cup.
Yeah.
So that'll tell you how much money you can save if you find some of these pieces on the wall.
Yeah.
The smaller piece value is like crazy when it comes to cups. I think about like the 1x1 like trans blue studs. Like those used to be on every wall all the time.
Yeah.
And they haven't been around forever. But like that piece, like if you can like if you can get that on a pad wall as opposed to like buying it from Bricklink, the price difference is insane.
Yeah.
The one by one cheese slopes in the translucent orange, that like fire color.
Mm-hmm.
Those I bought a cup of just because like I was like, I don't know when I'll need them, but there's no way that I'll ever be able to get them this cheap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Trans
I had to,
neon orange.
yeah, I got those.
Rusty said that
right up there. I got those for like I was like maybe I'll do Mustafar one day. It was like that it'll might be useful.
Rusty said that he can get 100 1x10s in a large cup.
That sounds crazy. I don't know. Are you sure?
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna tell you what, I'll believe him because they're part of like my lug, and they will spend an hour and a half at a Lego store like building, packing like cups. They took the 1x2 plates, one of the guys in the lug, and they were there just like snapping them together. And I'm sorry,
I could never, bro. No.
But
I'll connect in a cup is like a 2x4 or 2x6. Other than that, I'll take the hit.
Taking them apart would be absolutely destroying time.
It's not worth the money.
The
sanity is much better.
Yeah.
So 100 1x10, 100 1x10 light blue gray, that's $44.
Well, if you can get them in a cup, I mean, you can buy 2 cups and still save you some cash and not have to pay shipping and get points and possibly add it onto a Lego set and get some giftful purchases.
Mm-hmm.
I was 2 years ago when I first started mock building, I was 100% into Bricklink. I was pretty sure Bricklink was the best way to go, but Lego is really closing in that.
Pick a brick online. Oh my god, yeah. I don't know, I kind of went through like a Bricklink drought earlier this year. Like I just wasn't really buying much on it. Like just wasn't really working on mocks. I didn't need to. But like as I've come back to it recently, I feel like it's gotten more expensive lately. Like I don't know if it's just me, but it like orders that felt like cheap to me back in the day, like now feel a lot more expensive.
So I noticed this yesterday. I built a ton of Brickmania kits, and of course, with anything else, I want like the biggest and baddest thing they have. Well, I've got 2 World War II planes that are really, really big. And there's 3, and I've built 1. And when I built that one, knowing how the other 2 are kind of designed the same, the 2x2 slope, curve slope, then dark bluish gray. This is what I went through yesterday. I'm buying the pieces to start my next one. And let's just do this. I'll pull it up.
Well, while you pull it, I gotta jet out. I haven't been feeling the greatest and I'm extremely tired and I got a big day at work tomorrow. So I will see you guys in the next episode on Wednesday. And Rich, it was good talking to you again. And
yes,
same to you.
I'm sure I'll see you in the meantime. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Sounds good. I will see you later, Jay, Gene, and Rich.
All right, see you, man. Take care.
See ya.
So
I feel better.
On this piece right here, I'm sure it's going to take me like 5 pages to get to. But this is where do what?
I would say almost there.
Yeah. This is where I noticed a big a big change. So this one set right here takes 88 of these.
Okay.
I don't know how you scour Bricklink, but I only buy from USA. And I always see who has the highest quantity and then just go from price. So if you start scrolling down, like 19 is pretty much like the cheapest you're gonna find. 19, you got 17 here. So let's even just drop it down even further and say somebody has 15, them at 15 cents.
I don't know if it's for everyone else, but the screen is like frozen for me.
Yeah.
The screen is?
Yeah, like your webpage. It's still we're still looking at
I know why, because I opened another tab. That's
Oh
my
yeah.
bad. But this piece right here on an average is around like 19 cents, 17 cents. So if we drop it down to 15 and I still need 88 of them, that's not a bad deal. Like you're still gonna do good. But I think I looked at had them at like 9 cents a piece.
Really?
And that's like a huge difference.
Yeah.
So Lego, the way that I see it is Lego has the ability to kill Bricklink if you're willing to wait on pieces that aren't on bestseller.
That, and also I think if Lego just like implemented the ability to import a parts list, that itself would like,
Oh
because
yeah,
that's the biggest thing for me. Like
that's
if
what I was
there's
about
like
to say.
1,000 different parts, I'm like finding all of them on the website, especially
So
not even knowing if they're all there. Yeah.
And I'm sure me, you, and Gene have a huge like one up on some people because they don't know what Lego considers some of these part names to be. Like a bracket for Bricklink is called an angle plate in Lego. So if you're looking for bracket, you're never going to find it.
Yep.
If you're able to like what is it? XTML is what they use for a imported wanted list.
XML.
Oh, yeah.
If you were to import that, I believe that would be a big like just destroyer.
Especially if for no other reason that you could like check the price at least. Like, okay, like how much cheaper is it for me to just go through Lego with this? And if it is, like, yeah.
Well, even
yeah, the time thing is always going to be like unless, I mean, I don't really see that changing, honestly. Like unless Lego just decides to infuse like hella money into their pick-a-brick service, like I mean, it is cool that there is like at least bestsellers now. Like before, we didn't even, every order would take forever. So it is nice now. Like I just got an order in today. I placed it like last week.
That's where all these came from.
Yeah, so that's really cool. I think you're going to
see a lot. Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of Lego stuff available through Bricklink. They've merged the help desks for the two now, so that the help desk for Bricklink is now the Lego help desk. And then when they did that mock pop-up shop, you could only get stuff through the Pick-a-Brick or new parts on Bricklink.
I was about to say, you reminded me of a big thing right there. I don't know if you know about this, Jay, but what he's talking about is the pop-up shop was like Lego's version of Rebrickable, but you could only do sets that were not approved for the Bricklink purchase.
The designer program.
Yeah. And in the option of when you were picking the pieces, you had the option for them to pull from Lego's Pick-a-Brick.
Oh wow! Okay.
Now you couldn't choose whether it was bestseller or not. So if you were buying it, you were just like when your pieces got there is when your pieces got there type thing, and you couldn't actually see what you were getting. You were just putting the order through. But that's that like toe in the water to get to where you're going to be able to upload a wanted list. So you might be able to upload a wanted list to Bricklink and use Bricklink's website to load Lego. Yeah. So that would be pretty huge.
I think the other part of it also is like, I mean, Lego's always going to have like retired parts, so like there will definitely always be a need for Bricklink, like for things they just don't make anymore. So like, yeah, like is it ideal to have for like Lego to sell every part? Like what would be the more ideal scenario for like everything to just come from Lego, or to have something like Bricklink? If it's coming from Lego, like you'll probably get free shipping. There'll all be new parts. And if they could get everything, on bestsellers, like that's a shorting shipping time.
The
I don't know.
only
It's interesting to think
the
about.
only thing that changes me from that is I shop both stores the same way. When I go to Lego's Pick a Brick, I literally start at page 1 and I go down and look at every piece. And if I find a piece that I know that I could use in the future, if I know I need it now, I go ahead and add it to a cart with a certain amount that I think, like, I don't ever buy any piece, like even on Bricklink. I will never go on someone's Bricklink store and buy one of something.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I just won't do it.
Yeah.
I'm buying, like, these leaf pieces have been all over the Pick a Brick online in like
Okay.
tons of different colors. I've literally, every order I've purchased, I've picked 5 colors because they're 5 cents a piece, so it's $5, and I've done 100 of them.
Okay.
Just because I know that there's, like, in the castle, I'm doing autumn colors.
Right.
When I'm telling you about the Clone Wars mock, I want it to be weird and bright, so I have these bright purple colors, these bright teal colors.
For sure.
And it's just easy to get right now. But if I go to a Bricklink store, I always go to their minifigures.
Okay.
And that's going to be where
that's like, I didn't think about that. Yeah, there's no like
but now, mind you, like, I'm still building the army. I'm not, like, I don't care what anybody says. If you're a Bricklink dealer and you have 100 Black Falcons, you're going to have to cut me a hell of a deal for me to buy them from you, because I'm getting them for like $1.20 a piece from Lego. And most people sell the torsos for more than that, much less the legs and like a head. So I'm like, if you want to come down to that, you really would have to bend your numbers. Will said that does Jay know if the new Virginia factory are they supposedly making and will have a factory store like the overseas? We need one of those. They're already open, the Virginia factory, didn't they?
No. I don't even know if they've started building. Like they just broke ground on it like earlier this year, so we're still a ways from that. Have you seen the factory stores though?
No, but didn't they just open a factory over here somewhere?
They announced that they were opening it and they're working on it now, but it's not functional yet.
What they just did over here is they just increased the capacity of their Ohio distribution.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's what I was thinking, because I know that the bestseller definitely like grew.
Yeah, that comes
I
out
don't
of
think.
Ohio.
I mean, they don't. Yeah, they're not making. I mean, they're not making any parts here yet at all.
No, I think we're still a year off from that.
Yeah.
What is a factory store?
Okay, so a factory. It's basically, they have them. I know they're for sure at like Legoland's, and it's like a pick a brick wall on steroids, dude. It's like so many like brand new parts like already available in like ridiculous quantities. I have to just show you pictures from it, but like it's like pick a brick on steroids. Like so many more parts options, things in multiple colors. Like they have like flex tube, like molded animals. They'll have like like 1x1 plates in every color, 1x1 brick in every color, like 1x2 in every, like it's insane. And I have friends who go to the one in Germany, and it's ridiculous. It's unfair, honestly. And a lot of like the German Bricklink sellers, like I don't know how much you look at like international markets, but like those German sellers, like they'll almost always have like parts that just came out in sets like a month ago in large quantities, and the way that they acquire all those new parts in like weird colors in quantity is getting it from the factory store.
So Toys on the Side made a good point too. He said that on the Bricklink side, he always checks out strings and sticker sheets, because the sticker sheets can be trimmed for customization, pinstriping, and then the words and numbers can be used in a variety of ways. I was doing that, but I will tell you that I went on a hunt to find out what set, because I know the Republic Gunship is one of them, but it's not the most easiest or cheapest set to buy stickers for. I wanted the clone logo printed on those 2x2 tiles, and I found out that the sticker sheet was like $1.80. But there's a secondhand store that prints on Lego that prints clone symbols for 50 cents a piece. So I literally bought I think I bought 50 or 60 of them just because.
That's a lot of. Oh my god, I wasn't expecting that many.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. Like, I think that they're not behind me. They're over on the other side. But that's, like I said, I'm one of those type of people where I don't just buy one of something. Like, I don't know.
I used to be a lot more liberal with that. Now I realize how many I just end up with so many things sitting around that I've not looked at in years, and I'm just like, man, like I've built a lot, and with everything I built lately, if I haven't touched this, like something's got to give. Maybe I'm doing a little bit too much.
I'm a sucker for custom printed stuff.
I can see that.
Me being friends with Victor, who owns Eclipse Graphics and Brick Warriors, is like the worst relationship I can have, because he'll message me sometimes and he's like, "Hey, what do you think about me doing this?" And I'm like, "Why did you tell me that?" Like, when I was building the city, I wanted the city dedicated to Marvel, and he printed those 2x3 tiles that have comic books on them.
Awesome.
Well, dude, I had a comic book store in the city that was lined of the walls with comics. Literally, there was like 20 minifigures like walking around with comics. And now, on the flip side of that, is I've got a whole container full of comic books that I don't know if I'll ever use again.
Yeah, I mean, that's so cool to have. That's so versatile. Like you can always find like creative places to throw those in. So I could definitely understand that.
Well, the joke was that you can always. I'm gonna now. Everybody hides, I don't know if you're one that does this, but there's always people that hide hints to their previous mocks and their future mocks in their current mock.
Doing that, but like, I don't know if I want to give the secret away like that. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's hubris, but I feel like it's always kind of a big deal. Like, okay, like what am I gonna do next? Because whatever I do next, it's gonna be like probably the biggest version of it that's ever been made. And like, I like the mystique of being like, oh, like what is he?
Aren't you doing the pod racer though?
I am. So that's the only reason people are aware of that one is because I've started it before, and like I'm very committed to it. But like beyond that, like no one really knew I was gonna do Star Killer before I announced it. So I've thought about it, but I feel like someone could just easily pick up on it, and I'd be like, damn, like I wanted that to be a big reveal. That's like as from a content side, like that's like whenever you announce your next mock, like that's a big deal.
So in the city, I had 5 Black Falcons that were walking or marching in a line. And there was so much going on in the city that it just didn't matter. Like I mean, there was like I said, there was Marvel, there was the Ghostbusters, there was like Shaggy, Scooby. There was just so much that it did not matter. Like it was just lost in translation. With the castle, I have kind of the same thing. One of the leaders of one of the squads is Captain Rex.
Okay, I see.
But like, it's one of those things. Like, does it even really matter? Like, I have 700 Black Falcons. Is that one Captain Rex really going to let you know that I'm doing a Clone Wars mock next?
Bro, fans can be perceptive. You just like there's some weird things I've hidden in videos that like I didn't really expect anyone. Just something sitting in the background. They're like, oh, like what are you doing with that? And I'm just like, bro, like relax.
So I used to have Gene came over here one day and helped me move some stuff around down here that I didn't feel comfortable lifting by myself, like the UCS Falcon. And I had the big figs.
So translated, he wanted to blame me when it broke.
Right.
I put it on you've seen the stand that you build out of Technic to hold it sideways, right?
Yeah, the Efferman stand, yeah.
Yeah, I was skeptical about putting it on that.
Okay.
So I had him hold it while I snapped it together, and then we both like set up there. But I took the big figs of Harry and Hermione, and I had them back here with Harry bending over Hermione, and he had like his hand on her back and his wand out, and it literally took like 6 months for someone to be like, "You really got that behind you?"
I guess it just depends. Then so some things you can get away with, some things people are immediately like, "Yo, what are you doing with that?" And I'm just like, guys, like
he stayed there for a long time.
Oh my God. Like we did like a big Secret Santa thing this year. Or yeah, that was this year. Oh my God. and one of my friends picked up on a gift that I got him because me and my other friend were doing like a podcast, and we were talking about like these sets, and then like I don't know, I guess at one point in the podcast, I like, oh yeah, like this set I have right here, such and such is doing such and such. And my friend knew that I didn't own that set, and he knew that it was on his Christmas list. So he was like, oh, he definitely got that for me. And I'm just like, oh, like that's crazy. But like, yeah, like people can pick up on stuff like that.
I don't think that they would do like. I guess that's the difference between a lot of your watchers and my watchers. Like, I don't think they would do that. Like, you might be able to take a like I have a 1x2 printed tile of the 20-year anniversary pod racer set.
Yeah.
Like, you could take that and put it in your mock and Camino, and somebody would be like, oh, he's doing pod racing next. Where I could get rid of all of my Black Falcons and make them all clone troopers, and they would just be like, why is he doing that? That's strange.
yeah, exactly. I'm very like when it comes to Easter eggs, especially in my builds, like I'm very deliberate about it. Like I don't usually just like, oh, that's neat, I'll put that there. Like it's like if I'm doing an Easter eggs or something like that, like it's usually like either like a joke that we've talked about on stream or something like that, or just like something that maybe I've mentioned in a previous video that like, oh, this is the manifestation of that. Or I'm just like memeing something that like is popular in the Lego community. Like I think like we had like a Salt Bay meme when we did Crate back in the day because it was salt. So that made sense. So if I just threw something like had like like a pod racer like tile, like people would be like, oh, like that's not just there for no reason.
My castle now, previously I just kind of like stuck a lot of Easter eggs in it. I'm a sucker, which is really weird, for going to a Lego convention and seeing somebody that has like this decent sized mock with a piece of paper that says scavenger hunt. Like, I'm a sucker for that. I'm like, all right, now I got to sit here and find all these. And
that's the move.
Last year at Brick Fair, did you seen the museum, right? That had the hidden scenes in it?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to do on this. I wanted to I don't want it to be a scavenger hunt where like you got to find 50 brown frogs. I want it to be like a scavenger hunt where you got to find the 20 scenes or whatever. Right. And I've joked, like, if you watch my channel, I don't know that I've necessarily said it on my castle videos, but on the live streams I have. The first episode of Scooby-Doo, they went and found the Black Knight. And the Black Knight was actually in like silver armor. So what I've done is I've got a Black Knight that's one of the like Everyone is Awesome sets. I bought a whole bunch of those monochrome minifigs, and I have one that's completely black. It has a black helmet, a black sword, and a black what's it called?
Or the helmet.
Well, I was talking about the hairpiece, the whatever it's called. I don't know. Yeah, the plume.
Okay, yeah, so I said, yeah.
But the eyes, it has like a solid black minifigure head, but there's yellow eyes on it, and I think it came in like a hidden side set or something. But Scooby-Doo and Shaggy have a magnifying glass looking at its feet, and like that's the stuff that I like to see. Like your Mickey Mouse in your Starkiller Base was hilarious, just because like you did that at like right at the time where Disney bought like Star Wars was a big thing,
right?
Like people were still making a really big. Well, I guess people still now make a big deal out of it. But like
my original plan for that, I wanted to have Mickey Mouse like walking, because Mickey Mouse's position basically right above the trash compactor, and I wanted to have him walking with a box, and on the box there would be written George Lucas sequel ideas, and then he'd be dumping it in the trash compactor. But I didn't have enough time to get that sticker made, so I just had him chilling there. But that was the point of having him there at first.
But to make the conversation like come back around, I've thought about now every mock that I do, I'm gonna put a character somewhere reading a comic book.
There you go. I like that.
Like, and that was when he said Jar Jar cleaning the floor. Will said Jar Jar cleaning the floors was still my favorite.
Yeah, that was an Easter egg I had in Starkiller. That one was that, and that's one like, yeah, it's like a Lego Star. Like if you know like Lego Star Wars memes, like that's a pretty big one. So that was a lot of fun.
Did you have any, or did y'all? Because y'all did it as like a collaboration, but when y'all did the every level of Lego Star Wars, was there many? There was a lot of Easter eggs in that too, wasn't there?
I mean,
because a
not
character
really.
walking around in there, even though it could be like an Easter egg to you, to someone else, it just looks like a normal character walking around in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think for that one we weren't like pretty much all the Easter eggs we did were like contextually like they made sense. So like there might be things like, oh, like there's that thing from the video game, but it made sense for it to be there because it's a level from the video game. So like
Yeah.
I don't think we really didn't like stretch too far out of that in terms of like you wouldn't like no one like, oh, here's like Scooby-Doo and Shaggy in our level mod, because we were pretty like, it needs to look like the level. So I would say that one was probably the one we did the least amount of like jokes and stuff for, outside of things that were like kind of have become memes or like funny things people remember from the games. I would say like my friend Andrew in his build, he did the in episode 5, whenever like he does the like I'm your father reveal in the video game, Vader pulls out like a picture of him and like young Padme with each other. So like Andrew like had like a printed tile of that in his build. So like in a way it's kind of an Easter egg, but like it actually it's supposed to be there. So
it happened in the game.
Yeah.
Like the one meme that everybody wants me to do that became like a big thing is I actually have a gallows for the castle.
Okay.
And everybody wanted me to do that meme where like the piece folded down, but the minifigure's legs were stuck to it.
Yeah.
But I was like, I feel like that's too obvious. Like that's what everyone would want to see. So I was like, I'm not doing that. That I have one in the back that is a mine gym and has like a rail cart in it. And there's 7 bearded people down there that are like pickaxing. So like the 7 dwarfs.
Yeah, I got you.
There's things like that are, I guess, what I've went after. I don't know. There's not been too many more that I've decided on. I've got figs for stuff, but like I haven't really put too much out there.
Yeah.
I have like I wanted to kind of include like a horror minifig from Citizen Brick in like every build. In the city, like Michael Myers was randomly staring out of one of the windows in the building.
Okay. That'd be funny.
But like it's stuff like that you would have to, I guess, look for. Like if you're building a Star Wars mock, like your Star Killer base, there's very, very few minifigures that you could put in there and then blend in.
Oh yeah. Like I put there's a lot of Easter eggs in that build. And so like I feel like I did, for example, in the big like meeting room where like the giant Snoke hologram is talking to Kylo, there's a bunch of like chairs sitting around. So I just like sat Homer Simpson in one of them.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Like Homer would be working at Starkiller Base, of course. And like I feel like that one is, like, on that video, everyone points that one out as like a really funny thing. And like I don't know. I like it because it is just randomly Homer Simpson, but like in my mind, like yeah, like this is very adjacent to like the nuclear power plant. So yeah, he'd be working here somewhere.
I had in the city, I had Homer Simpson and Tony Stark sitting at a bar drinking beer because Tony Stark was an alcoholic in the comics.
So yeah, exactly. I love stuff like that, like because those are also like I'm a huge Simpsons fan. Like that's probably my favorite show. So I love doing Easter eggs like that are adjacent to other things that I just really, really find funny.
I've got a
guys. I'm going to play the old geezer card and head to bed.
The White House crashed.
Yes, sir.
Oh, she crashed my White House to the floor. Now I got to rebuild it.
This one side, this side. East wing and the west wing.
She's taking down all the architecture stuff, putting up all the Christmas Village stuff.
There you go.
They swap the Christmas stuff's in the closet during the off season, and then the architecture goes in the closet during Christmas. So I guess
she's just swiping it off into the floor. If she's swiping it off into the floor like that, that's got to be a really easy swap.
Well, I didn't realize it was in 3 pieces. I thought it was one solid piece plate, and it wasn't. And so when I didn't know that. So needless to say,
it's 3 pieces.
I know that now. And this one goes with everything was this, and everything goes with that.
I don't care. I'll pull it apart and put it back.
Oh, I just put it together what you got there.
If you wanted to, is your dryer still running downstairs? I was supposed to wash it because it's pretty dusty.
Oh, that dryer. Yeah, I could. I thought you meant the clothes dryer.
I'll tear it apart and then you can wash it and
Well,
dry.
then you might want to wash the middle part that's not broken.
We'll bring it on in.
But
So,
I'll see you later.
so Jay, we with the Bricklink store, and we do about 90% used parts. So we end up washing and sorting and drying. Oh my God, maybe. Why did it lose my camera? End up washing, drying, and sorting 60 to 100 pounds of Legos every 2 weeks. And we built a dryer to do that efficiently. We used to be able to do 20 pounds, about 20 pounds every week and a half. And now when we do it, we do about 100 pounds at a time.
Jeez.
This
Hello.
is the other half of Camel Brick House. This is Tori. She's what really makes it work.
What's your store called?
Camel City Brick House.
I've definitely ordered from you before, no doubt.
Yeah, Camel City is the nickname for Winston-Salem, which is where us and Richard are from.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I had a chance like 4 years ago. Well, it's a salty subject, but Lego Masters contacted me and was like, "You want to go on the show?" I was like, "Sure." So I did like their whole process and everything else. And they were like, "Well, we're entering you into the first part of the contest where at home you need to build a mock." They were like, "What would be your favorite Lego theme you would want to do a mock on?" And I was like, "I have no idea." I was like, "I'm assuming I can't really do Star Wars, can I?" And they're like, "No, we want you to be like more original than that." I was like, "Pirates?" And they were like, "Yeah, that's fine with me." So I was gonna do a pirate ship, and I was like, "I don't have any of these pieces." So like I went to Bricklink and found like stores in North Carolina so I could get the pizzas fast. And I seen that Gene came up as being Camel City, and I was like, they're somewhere around here. So I literally messaged him and was like, "Hey, this is my story. Do you care if I just like come to your house and ravage through your store?" And he's like, "You actually cannot do that at all." He was like, he was like, "I can meet you somewhere so you don't have to pay for shipping, but I am not letting you come into my house."
Yeah, yeah. I thought that I basically. Go ahead.
You do not get to go behind the curtain.
No, that's where the magic happens.
Okay.
No, I've had that same thing happen. Basically because I was getting ready for like a convention or something, and that's how I actually found like literally like he doesn't live here anymore, but he was my local Bricklink seller. He literally lived like down the street from me. It was weird. So like I like and it was honestly, it's kind of good he doesn't live here anymore, because it was so tempting, like, you know, late night building. You're like, oh, like I need all these pieces, and I just call him up and be like, oh yeah, let me just like drive over. And I was fortunate enough he didn't let me come to his house, but like it was just so tempting, like, oh, I need that. Let me get that. Like I'm kind of glad that that's not the case anymore, because I would end up buying way more than I needed. But I totally understand. Like it's
Richard
so
Haley come over here a lot now.
Yeah. We just have to check. We have to frisk Richard when he leaves.
Yeah. They
absolutely. Yeah.
They make sure they're like, let me see your pockets, like empty your pockets.
For sure.
I feel the same way as you, but now it's like an issue with, I have so many friends that own Bricklink stores that aren't even close to me. I'm pretty good friends with a guy in Colorado, and if he had 1,000 of something, I'd be like, "You want to hook me up on 1,000 of those?" And he's like, "Sure." Like, and it makes it too easy. Like the addiction, you know, it's like the drug addiction is a lot easier if you have a friend that's the drug dealer.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, totally.
So that's what I am now. The drug dealer drop off.
Pretty much.
I'll drop his stuff off at work.
But that's I placed an order from you on June of this year.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I don't know what I got, but yeah, I bought something from you in June this year. That's so crazy. Small world.
That is.
What's your username?
June, I would have still been working. Rich boy.
My username is not publicly known only because making content. I never wanted to have that thing like address there, so I can tell you off screen, but on I do keep that not public.
That's good.
No,
Just
that's
out of
fine.
curiosity, like I'm not like egging you on to say it, but what does it matter if they do know it?
But I don't want to like, so basically, like if my username is like my like me, like Rich Boy Jade, for example, then if I order for someone, they're like, oh, like you're this person, and then they have my information, they know exactly like who I am. As opposed to if it's something else, they won't really like pry. So, and if I make it public, then people are like, oh, that's that guy, and they're like, it's just you just never know. It's just kind of something I was like, maybe I'll change that.
You're being smart.
Yeah.
I was well, the reason why I said that is because like I never thought about it, but for instance, Brickmania, Dan on his name on Bricklink is Brickmania, but I guess he's ordering it to a store, so it's different than you ordering it to your house.
Yeah.
But my name is the same. So, but I also like, I'm like the weirdest Bricklink order in the world. Like, if you want my name and address, you either got to be like 1 or 4 stores. Like, I don't order from anybody odd.
Okay.
Like, my Bricklink store literally consists of, I think, 7 stores that I order from. And if they don't have it, and Gene and Tori can't find it in of like the massive pile of used Lego they have, I just like source it somewhere else.
I got you.
He's talking about
once I started diving more into YouTube, it was just like more and more people like kind of know who I am, so I didn't want any situations.
I didn't mean to pry. That's smart, actually.
I've only been like, I'm not gonna say it's a dumb decision because I know the guy, but I don't know him that well. A buddy, I'm pretty sure you know him too, Will Gray. Commander Gray.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, Commander Gray.
He hit me up and was like, "I want to send you a sig fig of my clone and a sig fig of my my normal like sig fig," and I was like, "All right, that's fine." And I just like gave him my address, not thinking anything about it. But like, I guess it is different because I know him.
Yeah, I mean, just, like certain people, like I've gotten to know. But like ordering from Bricklink is like indiscriminate. Like you just never, because I order from whoever. Like if they have what I need, I'll buy it, and you just never know. Like I really exercise discretion when it comes to that. I'm just like if you got
like,
what I need, I'll buy it.
Like Stud just said, he had a fan show up at his doorstep.
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know what I would do in that scenario.
I guess even more, I'm less afraid of like someone showing up or more people, or it's like I don't want basically like, oh, like such and such just ordered from me, like this is their information, and then you just never know who that gets passed along to, and if it becomes public like that. That's really what I wanted to avoid. Like
the realness of that set in, and I know this is like a thing in the past now, and you can't find out this info, so it doesn't even matter. But I'm also a part of Good Morning Brick World.
Okay.
And there was somebody that was trolling one of the co-hosts or one of the hosts. And they kept like, he went after the troll and the troll like it went back and forth. And we were live one Sunday morning and I seen an address pop up on the comment. And I was like, at first it didn't click to me because the guy's name sounded like somebody who I thought was like, I thought it might have been like an honestly like Bricks and minifig store or something. So I immediately copied and pasted it. And soon as it pulled up and I seen the picture of the house, I was like, dude, I was like, and that right there is like the real, I guess, set in for it. Like there's people out there that info is pretty easily gotten. Like whether you want to believe it or not, info is pretty easily gotten.
You got to minimize it where possible. That's
definitely.
Keep honest people honest is kind of how I look at it. Like
I don't care how cool your mock is. I'm not driving to Texas to show up at your doorstep to
yeah, I'd hope not.
To get you to sign a piece of paper for me.
Now, if anyone wants to see me, I am regularly at conventions. You can find me in public places with lots of witnesses if you'd really like to meet me.
You're like, hey everyone, I'm about to shake this guy's hand.
Yeah.
This guy right here. You need one of those like an app on your phone where if somebody wants to talk to you, you scan the back of their ID to do a background check real fast.
Oh my god, that'd be wild. No, we gotta vet you first.
Like, hold on a minute. But it is coming up to that 11 o'clock mark, so I'm gonna end the stream. Is there anything that you want to like say or anything you want to shout out? Or I know you're building the Camino build, so everyone definitely needs to go check that out if you haven't.
Yeah, I mean that's really the biggest thing I got going on right now. I'm building a large scale Camino build. So if that's your kind of thing, I'd love for you to check out my page, potentially like and subscribe. And I'm
pretty sure everybody in the chat's already liked and subscribed to your channel. Like I'm pretty sure.
I don't make assumptions. There's always opportunities.
Yeah, Will said that Camino is looking great.
I appreciate that, man. Shout out to Will Harper, long time boyo.
I still don't know like the idea of building a dome and having it seamless is. Yeah. You've done it, but it gives me nightmares.
Oh, dude, I feel like I'm paying the price for it. Like this is like I feel like I've kind of been lagging with progress on this build, but I really try to stress to people like this is not your typical like, yo, let me grab a base plate and just start stacking bricks and you end up with a thing. Like there's so many angles and structures and parts of this that like are not straightforward at all that like I really have to take into account when working on it. So I can't make the progress like I used to do with other builds where like I could, if there was a room I need to build, 4 walls would knock it out for the most part and then add whatever's in the middle. With this, like all the walls are like angled weirdly and there's like, like rounded parts on every like aspect of it. It's a lot and it'll be really whenever we finish, but
not only is it domed, but then you have the walkway that's curved, and then you have the border of the walkway that's curved down.
Yep.
Like
and it's on stilts.
So that's like, I feel like there's people all the time that tell me about when they see the castle, they'll comment on a video or something. They're like, "Oh my god, dude, that's an amazing build." And I'm like, "It's really not. It's square." I'm like, it's pretty easy. Like there's not a hard technique anywhere in there. Like there's just not.
But there's a lot of creativity.
I think that, and also like seeing something like that through from beginning to end is overwhelming for anyone. Maybe you, I mean, of course, when you get to a certain building level and you kind of take for granted kind of what it took for you to get to that point, and like certain things I'm sure you design now are things you'd have to spend hours on maybe at one point in your building career.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I definitely, I mean, obviously like for you to build something like that, like that's there's even if it's not the most complex like shape, there's still so much effort that has to go into anything.
One of the funniest things about like building, I think, or enjoyment parts is whenever you're set up at a convention and it's like a not an exhibitor day, but like actually like people are walking in and viewing everything. And like there's always those husbands that are like their wife's with them, and like as soon as the wife walks away, they're like, "How much you got in that?"
Oh yeah.
I'm like, you don't want to know.
That's $1 million question.
Yeah. It's how many pieces, how long did it take, and how much money?
Yeah.
That's all they want to know. But
I don't get this nearly as much anymore, but like when I first started and this isn't a set you can buy at the store, right? And
I've never had that.
Dude, I used to get that maybe because it's about Star Wars. I don't know. I used to get like with my large scale build, like people would ask that, and I'd be like, do you know like what a Lego set looks like? Like, bruh, like, there's no way.
This is your $25,000 UCS Star.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, Richard,
I don't get
what
it
did
really
it cost
anymore, but like, oh my god.
Yeah, on the what did it cost front, I'm not ever going to ask you what it costs to build those. I just want to say thank you. I enjoy the Bronco.
And I seriously sat down one day and like I don't look at a build being costly. because you're buying the pieces that allow you to build something else in the future. I mean, you had a lot of dark bluish gray, you had a lot of black. I have a lot of light bluish gray. All those pieces, like these water pieces, they might have cost now, but guess what? In the next mock, I don't have to buy them. You can focus on other things. But I did sit down one day, and with the minifigs, with all the third-party pieces, all the Lego orders, the Bricklink orders, and everything else, I'm somewhere like 7K deep in the castle, and I still have the village to go. But the village will be the village is going to be a lot simpler because I already have stockpiled pieces for that.
Yeah, and I totally agree.
I'm one of those type of people where I do things my way and not necessarily the easy way. So a lot of my God, right now in the castle, there's over 200 16 by 16 plates. And those alone are like, even off Lego are $3 a piece. So there's a lot of math to be involved.
Yeah, no, I have a bunch. I had to buy so many of those for my Dark Killer, and I would always just look for deals, and it was not fun because shipping is really where you get screwed. Or like those big pieces, like the 16 by 16 plate, like just getting like 10 of them can get near a pound, and bruh.
2 years ago is where I really screwed up at Brick Fair. I was walking through on the Thursday yard sale. And I was with a buddy. We were walking through, and I'm never one of the, I'm not going to go buy retired Lego sets. I'm not going to buy, I'm only going to buy a set if it really jumps out to me that it's like an extremely good deal. I'm not going to go ask every single table what they're selling something for, just because.
You mean you're not going to buy it with your money?
Yeah, I'll buy it with Gene's money. I walked past this guy who had a nice sized tote. And when I mean nice sized tote, I mean it was at least 2 feet wide, 2 feet deep, and 2 feet long. And it was stacked to the brim of 16 by 16 dark bluish gray plates.
Wow.
And it had a sign on the front that said $2 a piece. Yes. And as I was walking by and seeing it, I heard somebody say, "Would you take $1.50 a piece?" And the guy was like, "I don't know, maybe." And the guy was like, "Well, let me know. I will buy a couple of them." And I thought about stopping right there and being like, "Dude, $1.50 a piece, I'll buy the box." Well, wait a minute. No. This just clicked in my head. I had a conversation with you last year. Hold on. There was a guy set up at the yard sale selling nets.
Yep.
And I was trying to split the box with you.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
He would only sell us what was it, 15 a piece or 10 a piece?
Yeah.
Because he was wanting everybody to get some.
Yeah.
But I remember that now, the nets. And I still don't know what I'm gonna do with them. I don't know. I've got a bunch of them, but I have no plan for them.
I need every single one. I'm using them for the water technique on my Camino mock. So I probably have about half of what I'll need for the finished mock. So still got some.
Are you putting motion to it?
No, I just want a weight, like a nice dynamic, smooth wave effect. Someone suggested doing motion. I was like, man, that would I could figure out how to do it, but to do it and have it work for any period of time would kill me. That many, because it's so big. Oh my god, nah.
I built the castle, the first setup of the castle. All I literally had to do was put a motor and a gear, and I had the ability to lift the drawbridge and close it, and then drop the gate and lift the gate. The problem was the size that it was. The gate was an actual 4x16 Lego gates. It was 4 of them combined together. So anytime that it was lifted up to where it had a point to bend a little, it would not go so well. And I decided not to power anything. This time I've got room for it, but I'm pretty sure I'm just going to have a water wheel out in the village area. And I'm just going to have the water wheel moving. The only thing that makes me not want to do that is I think it's really dumb to see a mock that's 77 base plates and the only thing that's moving is a water wheel that's this big.
Yeah, I feel you.
But I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. We keep getting onto this. We're never gonna go to bed. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and hit y'all with that outro. Thank you, Jay, for coming on. Thank you, Camel City once again. Thanks, Drew and everybody
Jay,
else.
if you need anything, Jay, if you need anything, shoot us a message before you order next time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah, they give you a 10% discount, but they charge me 15%.
That's right. You got it. Finally, you got it.
That's how you get paid for being on Richard's show.
There you go.
But peace.